Sonic News! A new show appears. It's super effective. I am SSF. Hi. Pull my finger, please. Please? No? Screw you. I was polite. Ugh.
Welcome to Sonicland.
Live from the magnificent state of Virginia, here's your host, the news dude of Sonic Paradox, Sonic Sega Fan, 1991.
What's up? So hi guys, welcome to the show. It's still a thing. I know. It's amazing. I know. But hello everyone, and welcome to the Sonic News Show here on Sonic Paradox. And boy, has it been oh my God, these past 2 months. What happened? Why? What? Their thing. But yes, welcome to the Sonic News Show. There's plenty to talk about. I don't even know where to begin. But it's been quite a while since I did a show. Mostly because I've finally moved over to a brand new laptop, much better quality, and all this other shit, among other things. But yes, it's none other than Donnie. Apparently I'm the mighty Donnie, according to some viewers. I don't know where that came from. But I'm wondering if it has a little bit to do with my guest here. Because I invited probably the greatest fan of anyone that is Eggman. I have never seen anyone such a fan of Eggman in my life, but I can fully understand because Eggman is probably, I will admit, my favorite villain of all time. Because Bowser is Bowser. But yes, guys, I have none other than the great Clement here.
Aloha.
Hi there. How's it feel to be on the Sonic Paradox stream for the first time?
Feels good. I'm still in my room, so, I didn't have to dress up or anything. So that's good.
First at Sonic Paradox, Clement is in his room. Uh, expect more on this late-breaking story later on at 11.
It gets way more interesting, I swear.
It does. And you know what? It's still better than Sonic 06. Hey now! That didn't take long.
Nothing is, nothing is ever gonna be as worse as that. If a game is worse than Sonic 06, I will gladly make a 4-hour review explaining why it's worse, but there will never be anything worse than that. I'm sorry, no.
For the people who aren't quite aware, Clement here did a 3-hour review of Sonic 06 to say why it is his favorite game of all time and why you should go. No, it's
That's slander.
no. Actually, he gave a 3-hour review saying how much Sonic 06 should be considered the worst game of all time. And if you guys who have been watching my show for a while know, I have actually been a supporter of Sonic 06. I know, blasphemy, but
I'm
was
speechless.
yeah. But this was
Go on.
I was one of those people that said that Sonic 06 was worse or not was better than Sonic Labyrinth and there was another game I forgot about that was off the top of my head. Sonic Genesis. Yeah. I was one of those people that actually thought that. Now, that was before Clement's review. After
Sweet.
yeah, that was before Clement's review. After that, needless to say, my opinion of Sonic 06 changed very rapidly, a complete 180. I now consider it to be quite possibly the worst Sonic game ever. Namely because I forgot a lot of the things I struggled with when it came to Sonic 06, for one thing. And another thing, I went into that game thinking, alright, so all I was expecting was some glitches and some loading screens. Well, I got the loading screens, but I didn't really see the glitches. I saw one, and that was what I thought was a glitch, and that was Knuckles and Rouge getting stuck on the walls. That's the only thing I saw that I was like, wait, what? What? Why are you doing? Rouge, stop! Rouge, stop humping the wall, please. That this is not appropriate. We already knew you were horror, but this is not going to help at all. This was, I think, the game that would you consider this the game that started the whole Rouge is a whore thing? Or would that be Heroes?
I would say that came about from her appearance in Sonic Adventure 2. Like, I mean, there's nothing really. I don't really have a real problem with Rouge. You know, I don't actually think she's a whore. Yeah.
Yeah.
I made a joke about that in my '06 review, but it's like, you know, in Sonic Adventure 2, you can unlock like costumes for all the characters.
Yeah.
Do you know what Rouge's alternate costume is?
I'm not sure if I want to know. I'm a bit scared.
She has like leather gloves, leather high boots. She looks like a biker almost, and she has major cleavage. Like she has bat tits, you know. I showed it off in my multiplayer video when I was doing my Sonic Adventure 2 playthrough, and everyone in the comments was like, "Holy bat tits! Like what the? Why is this a costume for a cartoon character in an E-rated game? Oh my god!" So I can see why people say that about Rouge just because of her choice of clothing.
Yeah.
But you know, I think she's a fine character. I don't really care. Like, I'm not offended by her or anything. She's Rouge. She's female thief Knuckles. That's how I see her.
And now we know that whenever she gathers the 7 Chaos Leathers, she will become Dominatrix the Bat Hog.
Oh, and she also had like costumes in Rivals 2 as well. I don't really remember what they were. I know one was like a ninja. One was her Sonic Riders outfit.
Yeah.
I think she dressed up as a witch in the Dreamcast version of Sonic Adventure 2. Like, you could get like DLC for that and stuff. So I don't know, but Rouge probably has the most clothing changes of every character in the series.
Yeah, and I think the only person that even comes close is Amy, but that's only for writers, really. Well, then again, you could counter classic design too. And I think there was her Sonic the Comic.
And I guess the Mario and Sonic games.
True, both the winter and Olympic version. But then again, Rouge has one too. Why is it that Amy can't decide what she should wear?
Girls gotta change their clothing, man. I mean, Sonic's naked. He's not really wearing anything, so it's not like he can. I mean, he can put on clothes that he wants.
Spoiler alert, Sonic is naked for whenever you play another Sonic game. He's naked. I'm sorry to kill your childhood, but this is a known fact. And it's been known for 20 years now, 20 plus years, that Sonic does not wear clothes.
Oh, dude, it's okay. He's wearing shoes.
Yeah.
And gloves.
Yeah. The FCC won't go after him whenever his Sonic Boom show comes up. You know, it's gonna be perfectly fine. They're gonna be running around naked. You know, they're not gonna be. They might be showing a little bit of muscle. Well, Knuckles is, but you know, everyone else. No, they'll be perfectly fine. They'll be kid friendly. You know, I mean, you know.
Legit question. Xena from Sonic Lost World, is she wearing a sweater or is she topless?
I think it is a sweater. I hope to God it's a sweater.
I don't know where the sweater starts and ends, though. I think she's topless. So.
Yeah, I'm scared.
I'm just saying, I think Xena of the Zeddies, the Deadly Six, I think she's naked, but, you know, maybe I'm wrong about that.
So, pro tips from Clement. Number 1, Rouge is a dominatrix when you have a certain outfit. Sonic is naked. And Xena is topless. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sonic characters have more to reveal than we thought they did.
It's a good thing Eggman still has his clothes on in the Mario and Sonic games.
And then you see Sonic shorts and he's like, oh, fuck you, Sonic Paradox.
That's all he has to do. Just take off his clothes and Sonic will be so distracted, so confused, so like, what is he doing?
goodness. And yes, guys, we will have a lot to mention about the Sonic Shorts later on because, believe it or not, Sonic Shorts Volume 8 came out. But we're not getting to that just yet because a certain... Speaking of Mario and Sonic, Sonic Lost World and the new Mario and Sonic game did come out a month ago. Speaking of which, Merry Christmas. I'm a little late in saying that, I know, but yeah, hi, you know. But
Well,
yes.
Christmas isn't for a few days. Like, Christmas isn't for, like, I don't know, 15 days.
Well, you could say Happy Hanukkah when it was Thanksgiving, I guess, but, you know, that holidayception, but it's still the Christmas season, I guess, but
Whatever.
who's being technical, you know, this isn't about holidays, this is a Sonic podcast about Sonic, and it might have something to do with Sonic, and, but anyway.
Everyone listen to Diamond Dust Zone in the Sega Saturn version. That way it's Sonic related and it sounds like Christmas.
Yes. I'm really good beatboxer, by the way. Not that I'm gonna show it off here, but sorry to disappoint you. But yeah, what we were saying, right? There was a game, and we had two games, and they were both interesting, especially the latter. The former, I'm sure some of you already know. Clement and I absolutely love Sonic Lost World.
It's a good game.
Oh yes, I don't understand hate on this game at all. I don't.
Like, I understand it does have flaws, you know, I can see those flaws. I just don't think it deserves the amount of hate that people give it. You know, it's not
Yeah.
like so disappointing. It's just like at its worst, I could see it being kind of like, it's an okay Sonic game, not like the greatest, but
Yeah.
it's something I can play, honestly.
Yeah, it's like it's like I said in my review, a lot of the complaints that this game has had were either inaccurate or they were making them out to be bigger than they really should be. The difficulty increase, I didn't really see that all that much. Granted, there is a bit of a difficulty increase in lava, you know, the lava zone, but that's the final zone. It's supposed
Yeah.
to be difficult.
And it's really not anything worse than anything we've seen in like Sonic Unleashed or even sometimes Sonic 06. Like, I would say End of the World was far more frustrating than, say, Lava Mountain 2 or 3. Like, I guess the one hurdle about Lava Mountain 2 that everyone can't really get past is that the bomb carts kill you in one hit. Even if you're Super Sonic, you touch them once, no matter how many rings you have, you're dead.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, you can hold back on the control stick to make Sonic slower, and this is what trial and error is. You know, you play a game until you get through this one little area that you're having trouble with, and eventually do it. And I just don't think it's unfair. It's certainly challenging. You certainly have to time your jumps right, but it's not unfair.
Exactly. Like, it seems like we live in video gaming nowadays. It seems like people expect the game to play for them a little bit, and it's like, no, we haven't. Games can be difficult and still be fun. That's the whole point of the games. Although they're supposed to be fun, at least be fair. And that's what this game is. It's completely fair. There's nothing unfair about it. So it tries a little bit of a minecart level. Big deal. Like, it's a rail level, and it's not that long anyway. People say that this is the Eggman land of this level is the Eggman land of Sonic Lost World. No, it isn't.
Eggman. People seem to forget how hard Eggman Land really was. Like,
And how long?
in a way, it's kind of perfect because Eggman Land is always built up as like, since Sonic Adventure 1, he's always talked about, I'm gonna build Robotnik Land. And, you know, he'll mention it in Sonic Rush, he'll mention it in the Sonic Rivals games, he'll mention it in Sonic Riders Zero Gravity, that he wants to build Eggman Land and stuff. So finally, we get Eggman Land at long last, and he's been hyping it up for so many games. And it's just like, wow, why is this level like 40 to 50 minutes long? Why are there so many instant kill bullshit moments? Oh my god, like, the name was accurate. It was Eggman Land as you imagined it.
Oh yes.
But like, here's the comparison from Lava Mountain 3 to Eggman Land. Eggman Land has quick time events where they go really fast, and you can't make one mistake. If you push X when it says A, you die. Restart. You know. There are crumbling ledges when you're the werehog that you have to shimmy across that break off. So you can't really take your time with it. You have to be fast, but you also have to sort of watch out for the flamethrowers that are pushing you off. So you do have to be close and not too fast and stuff. There's the roller coaster segment where it breaks off, and that roller coaster ramp that you're going down, it bounces left and right so often, and there's no rails to keep your cart from going off the side. So, like, the slightest little nudge, the slightest little bump will send your character all the way to the pit below. And that level gave you free lives because it knew you were going to die over and over and over again.
Oh yes.
And I guess the other part is the drop shadows, because Werehog, when he's trying to balance on pipes and stuff, it's really hard to jump from pipe to pipe because you can't really see where your drop really is. You know, sometimes the camera can be a little bit off. So, and again, it's like a 40, 50-minute long level. I've seen tons of playthroughs of Sonic Unleashed when the game came out from like numerous people, and everyone who did a blind playthrough of that game, who, you know, we were seeing their reaction for the first time, spent 40, 50, 60 minutes in that level and without getting a game over. They kept getting lives back and they were still in it. It's just the level goes on so long, and it's amazing. It's a beast of a level. Cut to Lava Mountain 3, which I played when it came out the Friday I got the game, because I honestly blew through the game pretty well. I didn't really find this game super challenging or anything, but I got to Lava Mountain 3, and there's like lots of hover wisp manipulation you can use to bypass parkour segments or specific jumps or cluckers that are in your way. So that wisp is always there for you. The rising lava in the 2D sections, it's nothing like Toxic Tower in Donkey Kong Country 2, you know? It moves at a pretty steady pace where you can make like 2 or 3 mistakes and the lava won't have caught up to you. The bosses, again, a big complaint about Lost World is that the bosses are a little bit too easy. It's like, I didn't have a problem with Xena or Zor, because Xena, hit her 2 times, boom, the end. Zor, just run to the top, you know, and if you fall, you know, chances are you'll fall to a ledge that's below you and stuff, if Zor does hit you with his energy projectile stuff. And Zavok, I can understand the hurdle, like, how do I attack giant Zavok? Like, he chased me to the top, what do I do? Oh, I'm dead, now I have to redo the fight, blah, blah, blah. But again, it's trial and error, it's something that really didn't bother me. And admittedly, I got a game over on Lava Mountain 3, and I had to redo the whole thing, but it's still not 50 minutes long.
Yeah.
Like Eggman Land is. It's a 7-minute level when you know what you're doing. It's still a little bit too long for what it's supposed to be, but it's no Eggman Land at all.
Like, I do feel like a lot of the levels in Sonic Lost World, on the Wii U anyway, the 3DS, oh, we could go on about that.
Yeah, that's the game I love how people always assume I'm like a big Sonic fanboy to the point where like I'll just defend any bad game. That's a big criticism I got for Lost World. It's like, you only like Lost World because you're a Sonic fanboy. I'm like, dude, the 3DS version's terrible.
Yeah, not to mention the giant...
I hate the 3DS version.
Yeah. I hate the 3DS version too, and not to mention the giant 3-hour review you did hating on Sonic 06.
Yeah.
That's not really a sign that you're biased or anything. That's a sign... matter of fact, one of the very first points you made in Sonic 06 was how you were not biased.
It's like, I just wanted to illustrate in part 1 that I was a huge Sonic fan. And so for me to say this is the worst Sonic game ever, like, I wanted to show people, like, I'm supposed to like this shit, and I hate it.
Yeah. Like, there is no doubt in my mind that people will hate, people will dislike you simply because, or your opinion simply because it's different from theirs, or, they'll dislike your opinion because they'll say, hey, you got bias. It's like, no, we generally like these games because they're not as bad as people are making it out to be. Why this game got reviews of 5, I don't know.
It just, again, coming back to the challenge thing, it's not just Lava Mountain, though. People were having problems with Frozen Factory. Again, a level I had no problem with at all. Like, people say, like, oh, when you skate and you run and you push the jump button, Sonic does a twirl, and then you can't control his jump when that happens. And I was like, that's true. That does happen. Let go of the run button, and you'll double jump normally.
Yeah.
And it just feels like people don't want to be challenged in a way that they have to adapt and change how they play the game. But then when it's too easy, they complain like, "Oh, you'll kill the Zeddies in 2 hits." Pff, bullshit boss fights. This is so easy. I was like, you were complaining about difficulty, like about Frozen Factory and stuff. What? Now you're mad that the Zeddy are too easy? They're like, ah. But again, this is just me, being like, I like the game, so I don't know what to tell you. Again, I'm not saying you can't dislike Sonic Lost World. If you don't like Sonic Lost World, fine. You don't like Sonic Lost World. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like the arguments can be a little bit shallow, like just minor things to just like that's not a big enough deal,
Yeah, there's not enough to say that this game's that bad. I mean, and what's sad is that pretty much 95% of the arguments that people have that hate this game is like, this rips off Sonic, or Super Mario Galaxy.
Yeah, I see that. I can get that. Like, it does have the Mario tropes. You start off a green, grassy level. You start off, and then you go to a desert level and an ice level, and it ends in a fire level. So I get that. And at the same time, it's like a lot of the things Sonic does in this game. If Mario had done it in Mario Galaxy, no one would be complaining. The snowball level where you roll into a snowball. That was in Mario Galaxy 2. It was called the Boulder suit, No one complained too much about that. Maybe some people did, but no one was like, oh, the boulder's the worst thing ever. They were just like, you got a boulder suit. But when Sonic rolls himself in a snowball, all of a sudden it's like, worst control ever. I'm like, did you play it? Like, it's not motion controlled or anything. You just move the control stick where Sonic needs to go, and he goes there. And you jump into the Yeti guys, and I don't know.
Yeah, like, the thing for me is the difference between the boulder suit and the snowball is that the snowball, for one thing, is more hilarious to look at. Is you just see the snowball run, it's like, what the hell? For one thing.
Why did Sonic put himself in a snowball?
And that's why Sonic Lost World said, oh wait, no.
That should be a new thing.
Yeah. Why the hell am I in the snowball? And that's why Sonic Lost World sucks. So, let's do it, Sonic Paradox. Let's do it. No.
Sonic Shorts 9. Do it.
Or Sega Shorts 1, because technically there could be a occasional Sonic short in that. But no, really, when it comes to like the Sonic, the Snowball and the Boulder suit, the difference between the two is that the Snowball is more controllable.
It is more controllable. I think it's more fun to play than Mario and the Boulder.
Yeah, you could speed up the Snowball by a spin dash. You can significantly lower Sonic's speed. Slow him down. You can make him jump a lot more fluid than I think Mario.
None of the terrain that you're rolling around in is like steep slopes or anything. Most of it's like flat, wide areas. So like, all you're really doing is sort of dodging like the Yeti monsters who might bounce you the wrong way, or the bombs who might blow you like somewhere. But it wasn't like, it wasn't to the point where like the ball was just bouncing all over the place and I was like, I can't control this. I always had complete control over where I was going.
Yeah, and that was pretty much the whole point of this game, was that they felt that Sonic, although with the boost concept, Sonic was difficult to control, and I can actually kind of see that, because when in the boosting games like Unleashed and Colors and Generations, you have a hard time controlling Sonic sometimes.
Yeah.
And I could full hardly agree with the fact that they wanted to give Sonic more control, because that's pretty much what started Sonic. He was very controllable in Genesis games, and even in the adventure games, Sonic has always been speedy, but you could at least control him and get him where you want him to go. Um, and this game was no different. They went back to that kind of mechanic, and for some reason, people seem to hate on it because it's not the boost gameplay anymore. Everyone seems to be very used to the boost gameplay now after having seen it for 5 years, and like,
It's like, don't get me wrong, Generations was an amazing game.
yeah,
But the thing is, when I finished Generations, I knew the next Sonic game was never going to be as good as Generations, because it was the 20th anniversary game. It was filled with so much fan service. Like
Yeah.
you'd go into like the options room and it'd be like Knuckles Chaotix music of all things. So I was like, as a Sonic fan, this game was like my wet dream. And I knew that, like, well, the next Sonic game has huge shoes to fill. The people who want the City Escape throwback, they're not getting it. You know, unless they do Generations 2, which they didn't do. But if they're not doing Generations 2, if they're not going back in time and just replaying, oh look, it's Sonic Heroes level. Oh look, it's a Sonic Unleashed level. Then the next game is going to disappoint fans who wanted more of that, I guess. Because now they have to come up with new things and new baddies like the Deadly Six and new control scheme and everything. And it's just,
yeah,
I just feel like Generations is perfect for this though, because like, if you own Generations on PC, there are so many mods you can download for this game to keep the game going as long as you want it to go. Like, if you want, like, I know some people made a Sonic Unleashed hack for Generations where you could play all the Unleashed levels in Generations.
oh yeah,
And there's like different hacks. Like, people have been making like all these different fan made kind of levels and stuff, and character costumes. I know some guy hacked Generations so you could play as Scourge the Hedgehog from the comics.
oh goodness,
So it's like, the great thing is, you know, you have so much to do. Like, you can replay Generations over and over and over and over and over again because of modding and stuff like that. And there's, that game will never end. You know, if you want more Generations, play more Generations. It's like the old Genesis games where you can ROM hack Sonic 1, Sonic 2, and make your own fan game out of it. You can make your own fan game out of well, it's a lot harder, obviously, to make a fan game out of Generations, but you know,
yeah,
there's been some pretty cool hacks, honestly, of Generations. Some pretty cool. Like, I remember one made a level out of Rainbow Road from Mario Kart. So Sonic was running around Rainbow Road, and I was like, "That's mind blowing. That's awesome."
yeah. It's like, when it comes to Sonic Generations, you can go back to that whenever you want. You can play it whenever you want. Um, like, I know full well what to expect with Generations. Honestly, if I personally wanted to give an opinion, I loved Generations, but I felt it could have been even better. Like, for example, I think some of the level choices were a bit questionable. I think the story was a missed opportunity. They could have made a lot
Yeah,
more
they
crack
could have
ups.
poked more fun at that.
Yeah,
I was so waiting for an explanation as to why the Sonic 06 level was in there. I was like, "Why is this back? Tell me now, game." And they never did. And I was like, "Damn it!"
yeah. At least on the bright side, Crisis City was actually good in that.
Yeah, it was a
Um,
good level, but you know.
a lot. That's probably the one level in Sonic Generations that was better than its predecessor, the original.
Um, I'd say classic Sky Sanctuary is a little bit more interesting than regular Sky Sanctuary, just a little bit.
Yeah.
But you know, Generations was good. What were we
Yeah.
talking about?
Well,
Lost World somehow.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, like, I guess a lot of people came in to the Lost World hoping that it was going to be as good as Generations, in that, the 2D gameplay was going to be really tight, the music was original stuff, and if you don't like the Deadly Six, you're screwed out of luck, because the Deadly Six are Lost World, and that's what you're going to be experiencing. So I don't know,
Yeah.
but
Like,
it worked for me, honestly.
yeah, I think when it came to Lost World, people expect it to be this hardcore, serious, you know, you know, big ass game that's, you know, going to won't have trial and error. It's gonna kind of, you know, give the win for you a bit, and you know, and it's like, no, this game is perfect in regards to the balance of seriousness and humor. I freaking love how the game's humor is up until the point that you know Eggman has that punch into the ice blocks. Well, from that point, from that cutscene onward, that's when shit gets real, because that's when the point that things really take hold. When it comes to the Deadly Six betraying Eggman, well, that shit got real there too, no doubt. But even after that, they still had humor going. Um,
It fit the right tone. Like, I do think there's a little bit of mood swing with Tails. Like, there's a part in Frozen Factory where they go to Eggman's abandoned base, and their Tails starts lipping up like, "Why do we need Eggman again?" And he's like, "Well, we need him to deactivate the machine." And then Tails he literally says this line. They could have erased this line, and maybe it would have been better. But he goes, "You trust Eggman more. Do you know how much that bites?" It's like, what? How? No. It's like, he built the machine. Chances are he knows how to shut it down. Just because, Tails, you are a smart mechanical whiz, does not mean you know how Eggman built his machine. There's a chance he might have designed something you can't fix.
yeah, yeah, like Eggman's well aware of what Tails can do. I mean, just like he's well aware of what Sonic can do. Does that stop him? Well, it certainly stops his plans because they kind of destroy them. But when it comes to, he's going to adapt his stuff, his machines and stuff around Sonic and Tails to stop them. 'Cause that's the whole point. This machine was to stop Sonic and Tails. Why does Tails think suddenly, oh hey, I can control this no problem? It's like, Tails, this is Eggman's machine, not yours.
Um, so they try to add a little bit of drama between Sonic and Tails, which I'm fine for, because
Yeah.
honestly, can we name a game before this Sonic and Tails have really had a kind of fallout? Because, like, Colors, they're bros. In Generations, they're bros. In Unleashed, they're bros. You know, like, there's never any conflict there. So here it's like they wanted to add a little bit of extra something, because it always felt like, nothing against Colors. I like Colors fine, but even that story was just like, Sonic goes to Generator, deactivates it. Hey, this place is saved. On to the next one. Deactivates generator. Like, they'll have jokes and stuff, but it's just like, I smashed this. Hooray. Go over here. I smashed this. Hooray. There was no drama there. All the plot just sort of finally started happening as soon as, the last level shows up.
I think what some people are saying about Sonic Lost World is that it doesn't explain things enough. I think that's the biggest flaw they see in Sonic Lost World, if
I
not
could see that.
is that they don't explain things enough. Like Tails will say, hey, that must be the lost text. Well, they don't explain that. But I mentioned in the written review I did, yes, it's not explained why Tails knows about the lost text. The lost text is never really explained enough. It's just there.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: if you are not aware of the comics, you don't know where Sonic came from. You don't know where Tails came from unless you saw the manual of Sonic 2, which I didn't. I had no idea where Tails came from. When I first got Sonic 2 and was playing it when I was a kid, I didn't know where Tails came from. I didn't know where Sonic came from. They were just there. You know, if
That's
you
that's a legitimate point. Yeah, that's a good point.
um if you didn't see the comics, you wouldn't have known why suddenly Amy has a red dress. You didn't know why Eggman suddenly is more shaped like an egg than he was in the classics. you wouldn't know jack shit about any of the origins of anything in the Sonic universe half the time, except Knuckles to a degree. And even then, you play Sonic 3 and Knuckles, if you don't see the manual, where do you know where Knuckles came from? He's just like, hi, I'm here. Screw your emeralds, I'm out of here. Uh,
But it's like, I would say the games, they just sort of introduce all of your main characters. Like, the character who has the most mystique about him is Sonic himself.
Yeah.
We don't know where he came from. We don't know why he can run really fast. Did he just train himself to do that, or
Yeah.
is it the shoes? I mean,
Yeah.
I, I don't think it's the shoes, but yeah, there's just like, why does he such a hero? Why is the well, I don't know, but it's like there's just some things you don't really need to explain. There are some things that
Yeah.
you can just sort of infer for yourself and just roll with it. I can get why people won't like that. There's just a floating continent in the sky. Why is it there? I don't know. Why hasn't Eggman visited it before? I don't know. Uh, the Yeti can or the Zeti can control machines. They can control electromagnetic machines with their minds, I guess. And so Eggman needs to keep him in line with a conch, otherwise his army will be taken over. Why? Where did these Zeti come from? I don't. I mean, they're obviously the Lost Hex, but what did they conquer the Lost Hex? Were they in control of the Lost Hex when Eggman came to see him? I don't know. But there's lots of animals here. There's lots of wildlife. Sonic seems to think it needs to be saved. Whatever.
Yeah.
Nothing. There's not enough explanation. But I feel like this is the Sonic universe, and there's so many things that you don't really need to. Like, okay, and I don't know where I'm going with this. The point is, in every other game, we see all kinds of weird stuff. Like, there are aliens known as the Black Arms out there in outer space who ride in a comet that passes by every 50 years. They explain that, but that's weird, but it's there. Okay. There's a Babylon rogues who are aliens who brought their spaceship down to Earth, and they need these little gravity switches to bring them back to space. I don't know. The Sonic universe is weird enough. It's always been weird. It's always have some weird things where, oh, did you know there's a light Gaia and dark Gaia inside the core of the Earth who are protecting everything or destroying everything? It's like, just roll with it. It's like, okay, floating continent, whatever. I'll roll with it. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah. I think the thing that a lot of people forget is that explaining things in video games, particularly plot elements, generally isn't that big of a thing because, well, Sonic games have always had a history of not explaining everything. I mean, you go to Sonic 1, the story's very simple. You Sonic 2, story's very simple. They don't really explain anything. It's just Sonic needs to stop Eggman. He goes and defeats him. That's really all it is.
Yeah. So
Um,
you don't need it to be anything more than that. It's just when you pick up Sonic 1, you're a blue hedgehog. This guy's turning animals into robots. Beat him up. Okay.
yeah,
But no one asks, like, no one went to Sonic 1 and was like, where did he get all the materials to build these robots? Why does he want to turn animals into robots?
yeah,
But we don't need to know Eggman's motivation. We just know he's the bad guy. Stop him. Who cares?
yeah. It's like the whole point is not for Sonic to be big on story. Like it never really was. I mean, and for Sonic Lost World, it's no different. The ending for the game, by now, guys, I should note there are going to be spoilers. We assume by now that you've played the game. It's been a month, so I suppose by now, if you haven't actually played the game, by now you've at least seen the ending on YouTube or something. But in the end, essentially what happens is that Sonic basically they stop the machine. Sonic goes home. Amy's like, "Thank you thank you, Sonic, but our continent is in another castle." Actually, no. But
Redo the whole game. It's like Ghouls and Ghosts.
bum bum bum. But no, actually, we Sonic basically Sonic and Tails stop the machine and all that. They reverse its effects and then go home. And Sonic's like, "All right, I'm gonna lay down." That's pretty much it. It's they fix what happened and go home. You know what game also technically did that? Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Um,
Yep.
Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Sonic and Tails place the Master Emerald back on Angel Island. Angel Island floats back up in the sky, and they head home. As a matter of fact, that's generally a lot of storylines to Sonic games. They head home. Sonic 1, Sonic heads home. Sonic 2, he heads home with Tails. Sonic 3 and Knuckles, he heads home. It's been that way. It's nothing new.
Yeah, again, there's just some things that I don't really care about the explanation. As long as I know what is happening, I don't care why it's happening. Like,
Yeah.
no, did anyone really make a fuss about Sonic Unleashed starting off? Sonic and Eggman are in outer space and they're fighting. Like Eggman has all these airships in outer space. Sonic just happens to be there. He happens to have all the Chaos Emeralds. Like, what adventure did they just end on? Like, what game did we miss where Sonic has ended up at this point? Like, this is like the final level of another Sonic game.
Yeah. Like
But
they don't explain a lot of things even on Unleashed, you know. I mean, why, for example, there are suddenly a bunch of people on the planet after we were seeing nothing but animals, you know. There's all these different cultures and stuff. It's like no one really explains how they got there.
you can just assume they've always been there. But
Yeah. But that's the thing, though. You can make assumptions about things that weren't explained well. I don't know why people aren't doing that for Lost World, but um, basically what we're getting at in regards to Lost World is that it really isn't as bad as people are making it out to be. And I don't understand a lot of the complaints. I really don't. I don't understand the problems with the control. Like, I didn't really see that. I was able to pick up the game and buy, you know, Desert Ruins. By Desert Ruins, I got the hang of it. The Wisps, though, I will wholeheartedly agree, were awkward as shit. The Wisps were awkward. Occasionally, I felt like they didn't explain
yeah,
controls well. Occasionally, but that's why I had the instruction manual. Like, you know, the instruction manual is still a thing, guys. I mean, they may not have.
and if you lose it, it's built into the game, so you can look at it on your gamepad.
Yeah, like they are there. That there is a like they tell you pretty much all the controls on there. You know, how to homing attack, how to spin dash, how to because there's a what's the way to put it? There's like a move you can make where you can suddenly dash on the wall with the parkour and go around corners.
Yeah,
they,
I'm not gonna lie and say it does take a little bit of practice. Like, you're
yeah,
not gonna know how to parkour right away. Um,
but
I just think that, like, having to learn it is not an obstacle. Like, having to learn it is not a problem.
yeah,
Like, there are so many games out there where you have to read up on how to do something, but people love those games. It's like Sonic. You know, you paid $60 for a Sonic game. You want to get the most out of it. You know, you can look up a little bit of control on how to play the game, and it's not going to ruin the experience. Especially because once you learn it, you learn it forever. You know,
yeah. Like
it's never an issue later.
yeah, I essentially began to treat the parkour system, especially as it was getting into the wall jump territory, as a wall jump. That's essentially what the parkour system is. If you're not having to run along long walls, for the most part, when it comes to the parkour, you're not you're wall jumping to other walls. And that's essentially what you need to treat it as. It's essentially as a complicated wall jump. Um, I, I don't know why though the controls seem to be an issue for people. I didn't see that. I don't know why, but I didn't. I never saw any of that. And I will be honest, I went into this game, my biggest concern was the control. Because I didn't know how this game was going to control at all. Because it was a brand new concept, you know. It wasn't boost to win or anything like that. You had a lot of more control over Sonic. His control scheme had been completely changed up. Control was my biggest concern about this game. And I wasn't disappointed, honestly. Like, that was my biggest concern. But the 3DS version, on the other hand, we are not going to defend that.
Yeah, I'll say this: the first two zones, Windy Hill, Desert Ruins, those are fine. I like Tropical Coast 2. It has a gimmick to it, but I think it's short enough that it's not obnoxious. I like that level. Um, Sometimes the 2D levels are okay. I can handle Sky Road 1. I can kind of handle Frozen Factory 2. Everything else, though. This game, like the 3DS version, consistently makes up the question, okay, what new gimmick puzzle are we going to introduce in this level? Like, it all goes downhill from Tropical Coast because, one, I don't like underwater levels. I'm already like biased against those kinds of levels, and that's what Tropical Coast 1 was. All the great music is like muffled because of like the underwater. So you don't even get to appreciate the music, and it's just like, okay, I don't like underwater levels, so this is a level I won't like. I'm sure other people will like it just fine. But I already had a problem with it because I don't like underwater levels. Tropical Coast 3, they make you control the Drill Wisp in 3D. Never again, Sonic Team, Dimps, whoever. Never make the Drill Wisp control in 3D. He should only be a 2D thing. Every time you flick the control stick in any direction, he keeps going in that direction, so you can't keep him steady. It's not like he'll always go straight ahead and you're just sort of moving his position. When you flick it up, he's going up, and then he'll bounce into walls and bounce into all the other obstacles and stuff, and it's uncontrollable as hell. And you need to use it because all the wisps in the 3DS version are almost always mandatory. Like, you need them to get through these tornadoes, you need them to roll on these switches, you need them to jump on these electric rails. Otherwise, you can't beat the level. So constantly, you are forced to use these wisps when the great thing about Colors and Wii U Lost World is that the wisps are optional. You don't usually have to use them too much. If you don't want to be the eagle, you don't have to be the eagle,
Yeah.
So the Tropical Coast 3 had annoying yellow wisp controls. Frozen Factory 1, the snowboard was kind of awkward in that one, I thought. It's not Sonic 06 awkward. Nothing will ever be, but that level just kind of felt a little bit disjointed and weird, and the 2D level was okay, but then we get to Frozen Factory 3, which is the worst level in the game. By far, bar none. No contest. That is a 20-minute level. My first time playing it, I was 20 minutes. And that level has a time limit, by the way, where you have to beat it in like 25 or 30 minutes. And if you don't, you have to restart the whole thing because it times you. The Wii U version doesn't time you, but you have 25/30 minutes to beat the level. And it's all about pushing snowballs. And it was just so slow and awkward, and there's enemies constantly following you while you're pushing these snowballs who can destroy your snowball. And I'm fine when Sonic tries to do something different, when it tries to be gimmicky a little bit, if it works. But Sonic should not be pushing slow-ass snowballs in levels.
No.
I don't want an entire level that's dedicated to pushing blocks in Marble Zone,
Yeah.
Like, that's all you were doing was just pushing these very slow, tedious things. And you had to keep spinning around because the snowball would start off small, and then it would get bigger and bigger and bigger the more you rolled it. So you had to keep spinning in circles in these small square-shaped platforms. And sometimes, because you would push down at the wrong time, Sonic would, like, run off the snowball and run past the snowball. So you had to get him back on the snowball. It was just the worst thing. I was so mad when I beat the level and it was like 21 minutes on my time, and I was just like, fuck you, Dimps. Who tested this? Who played this and thought, oh yeah, it's a good level? Like, no one wanted to do this. Good God.
Yeah, like, the thing about Lost World is, although it's a bit experimental on the Wii U, it's extremely experimental on the 3DS. They do all sorts of different things on that. All sorts of gimmicks and gameplay mechanics, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, my thing about Wii U is that even though Wii U is gimmicky, kind of, it has an auto-scrolling section, it has a stealth section, it has you in a snowball. Even though the Wii U version is gimmicky, it at least kept to the formula that you're a blue hedgehog who runs fast and bounces on springs and stuff. The problem is the 3DS version, most of these gimmicks are Wisp based, and then you're not even playing as Sonic anymore. Now you're playing as Snowball Pusher or gyroscope controlled Boulder who has to slam on switches in order to get through the jungle. And it's just, it was worse than the Werehog from Sonic Unleashed. I mean, I don't hate the Werehog, but it's still not something I'd go back to ever. And I would rather play Werehog than be fucking Drill Wisp. I hate that. And really, I guess the only other thing is that it's really 6 zones, not 7, because Lava Mountain in the 3DS version is just a boss rush. You just refight all the bosses again, and then you fight Eggman. So,
Well, that pretty much sums up the 3DS version. Oh yeah, there's one more thing. The 3DS version has special stages.
oh my god, I forgot about that.
Hey guys, remember when you loved the special stages and how hard they were and so unforgiving? Well, guess what? They brought that back. But guess what they brought back as well? Gyro controls. This can
Ugh.
only mean good news. Except it's not, because the special stages in Lost World 3DS are the worst fucking special stages I've ever played in a Sonic game.
Total agreement. I know some people don't like the UFOs in Sonic CD. I know people are bored with the half pipe that's in almost every Sonic game. Puke bag zone, as I like to call it, in Sonic 1, where you were bouncing on all those walls and trying to get to the emerald. I get, like, you're not gonna like every special stage, but God, these are the worst special stages in the history of Sonic. Like, I got ill. Like, I got sick playing them. And that should never happen. Like, from Special Stage 4 and onwards, I was spinning so much with the 3DS, trying to maneuver Sonic past all the labyrinthy walls and just trying to move him left, right, left, right, left, right, spin around, left, right, spin around, just to get these blue spheres. I had to sit down. I had to, like, pause the game, collect myself, because my head was spinning so much. Like, I thought I was gonna throw up. It was horrible.
Yeah, I am pretty much the same way with the special stages. Like, both times, I haven't gotten too far into the game still, but I have played a lot of it already, including the special stages. The special stages are god awful. They pretty much stick you in a special stage, and the way you have to control Sonic is you move the 3DS around, left and right, all the way around, and Sonic will go in that direction. You go to the right, you go to the right, Sonic goes to the right. You move you move your 3DS to the right, Sonic goes to the right. You move your 3DS to the left, Sonic goes to the left. The thing is, though, is that because of the gyro controls, they're so awkward, you have to stand up and spin around just to get Sonic where you want to go. Because if you don't do that, if you're constrained to just moving where your head can go, just sitting still, you're constrained to just looking to the northwest or the northeast,
Yeah.
and you're constrained by just doing that. But you are not going to be able to finish a special stage like that because you need Sonic to go backwards. You need him to go southeast and southwest. You literally have to have Sonic, spin around and stuff, because if you don't, you can't complete the special stage. And remember, guys, the special stage is timed, so you're not really going to be able to just bebop around and goof around and just and struggle. Struggling is the last thing you want to do in these special stages. But the problem is that this game struggles with the controls in those special stages so badly. You're fighting the controls and the stamina of your body doing these special stages. You never did that in the Sonic game previously.
Generations on 3DS. Again, it was on 3DS. It had special stages, and it was the Sonic Heroes special stages. Did those use gyroscope controls? No. Was it made by Dimps? Yes. So I don't know how Dimps thought this was a good idea. And the worst part is, like, not only does it make you feel sick, but, like, special stages 4 and onwards are actually kind of tight with the time limit. So even when you do finally get the Chaos Emerald, even after you've almost thrown up, D rank, fuck you. I don't give a shit about your ranking system. Fuck you. Fuck you, Sonic Lost World.
Yeah, that pretty much summarizes the 3DS version in a nutshell. It's almost the polar opposite of what the Wii U version was, almost. But um, it it was great. I think it was pretty great on the Wii U version, but on the 3DS version, I wouldn't. No, I
I'm just curious. A lot of people always chalk it up to the 3DS version being bad. Is that, oh well, Dimps made it, and I don't hold that opinion. I actually think Dimps isn't usually that bad. Like I admit they can get a little bit bottomless pit heavy with some of the games in the series, but even like the recent ones, I like Generations on 3DS. I liked Colors on DS. I like Sonic Rush Adventure, even though it's kind of repetitive.
and there's
Like,
a and then there's a certain character that will go unnamed that
damn you, raccoon. But but like generally, I don't hate Dimps games. I didn't come into this being like, oh well, Dimps made it, so it's gonna suck. I actually don't mind the Dimps games. So for them to have fallen so hard with Lost World was a shock to me. I was like, man, this is the worst Dimps Sonic game they've ever made. Like this is really disappointing. This like and they've done 3D before. You know, they've done 3D with Sonic Unleashed on the Wii. And I played that and it was fine. So, I don't know.
yeah. There's plenty to say about Lost World. It's a game, and I think
There's plenty to say. It's a game.
yeah. um, it's a thing. Like we pretty much said all we could about this because, quite frankly, the game we've gone up for a good hour talking about this. But that's just how big this game is, and how controversial it is as well. Like this
It's
game,
it's definitely the most polarizing Sonic game I think I've ever seen.
yeah, like no
Like
game compares to this.
like even games like Heroes. I felt like when Heroes came out, everyone seemed to like it, and then years later, everyone seemed to hate it. I don't know if that's the vibe you got, but I never felt like it was polarizing when it came out.
Yeah,
Shadow '06, Secret Rings, generally these were received pretty badly. Unleashed, kind of polarizing, but sort of not really. I think everyone agreed that the Werehog wasn't the best part, mostly everyone, but yeah, Lost World's just really amazingly polarizing. Everyone just like love it, hate it, love it, hate it. You're right. No, you're stupid.
no, you, yes, you, rabbit season, duck season. Uh, but no, I can understand like Ryan's perspective. Like I can understand the game being meh. I can see that, but bad, only the 3DS version. I don't consider the 3DS version to be bad. The Wii U version, meh, at the very least. So
Yeah. Like again, I think a lot of levels kind of play it safe. Like it's not my favorite 3D Sonic game. I would rather play Generations. I would rather play Adventure 1 and 2 because I just feel like some of the levels, while fine, they're not like the most exciting things in the world. There's a casino level in Frozen Factory 3. It's not the greatest casino level ever. It's just you sort of run along, you beat up some egg pawns, you deposit some silver coins, you reach the end, boom. So I'm not saying it's like the greatest Sonic game ever. It has flaws. I'll acknowledge that it has lots of flaws, but I just think it's still a good enough game that I look at the good level design, I look at the good, well-written dialogue and stuff, and the graphics. The graphics are amazing, by the way. It's a very
yeah,
good-looking game. Um, and I just don't. And then I look back on like the dark age of Sonic with like Shadow, Secret Rings, and I just think it's better than those. Can we not harp on it just because it's better than those?
yeah. like like the thing is for me is that yes, Sonic 06 was a bad game. Yes, you could argue that Shadow is a bad game, and yes, Sonic Genesis was a bad game. But here's the thing, guys. This game doesn't have glitches like crazy. It doesn't have the horrible Mach speed sections. By the way, those are, oh my god, those fucking things. Uh, it doesn't have that. It doesn't have plot holes everywhere. Sonic is actually behaving like Sonic in this game, in comparison to '06. You know, the control. You don't have Knuckles and Rouge getting stuck on walls. You don't have. There are so many things that Lost World does that '06 didn't even come close to getting right. They screwed up so much in '06. Lost World, on the other
Yeah.
hand, you know,
I was just gonna say, well, Sonic 06 is the bottom of the barrel.
yeah,
Everything's better than Sonic 06.
yeah, yeah, and even Shadow. Like Shadow had a little bit more consistency and was a little better, but you could argue that that game wasn't really good either. um, it's just this game got more stuff right than '06 and Shadow and Secret Rings and all that. It controls better. It has less, you know, glitches. It's better. I don't see how this game is just the plague. It's not. It doesn't even come close. But
Ah, well, what are you gonna do?
it's a lost world, you know. We found the lost world, kind of. Not really. We just abandoned it at the end, but you know, I mean, actually, that's a good point. The reason why it's the reason why it's not explained why the lost world is there. It's lost. There's your explanation right there. It's a lost hex. It's supposed to be unexplainable because it's lost. We don't. It probably doesn't know where its origins are either. Um, there you go. Problem solved.
Unless one of the Zeti accidentally fell off the cliff.
Oh God.
Ah! Oh, there's something under here.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
I'm very curious. Are there like other Zeti though? Like I don't care that the game didn't explain it, but like, are there other Zeti communities where Zor and Zavik and everyone came from, and what's up with them? But you know,
Yeah. But
that's
yeah.
Lost World.
Yeah, pretty much. It's a game. You know, go buy it if you want. Like it's really, it's one of those games where really you do have to play it to actually.
Yeah, definitely. That's the thing I always say is like, don't just look at it and because everyone on the internet saying it's terrible, assume that like, oh well, it must be because everyone says it is. This is a game you need to try for yourself. This is polarizing as hell, where like, you know, everyone has a different opinion on it. So even if I say it's good, maybe you'll think it's terrible.
Yeah.
But you gotta try it to find out because
Yeah.
you'll never know.
There's a difference between watching a game and playing it. I think you know '06 is kind of the same. Playing it and seeing it, well, they're two entirely different things. The thing is though, with '06, you don't want to play it because it's '06. Lost World, on the other hand, you can play. It's polarizing. There's really no agreement on this game. You have to play it to get your own opinion on it. Um, but you might get a good idea of it by watching it because you'll see, you know, get an idea of what Sonic looks like and all that. But honestly, you get the true enjoyment of this game, if any, depending on
Or
your stance. By
true
actually playing
enjoyment
it.
or true torture, whatever you
Yeah.
see it as.
Yeah. You never know. But basically, that's our opinion of Lost World. Uh, we like it. I gave it, I believe, an 8 out of 10 or something like that, for the Wii U version, and then I think a 6 or something like that, 6 or 7 for the 3DS version, and only really because I didn't really, you know, see it had the gimmicks and stuff and all that, but there were some stuff that they did get right, that I had to give them credit for. But it was definitely a lot worse than the Wii U version. Um, bar none, I would suggest getting the Wii U version because and I I know the Wii U version isn't selling, and because of this, Lost World isn't really selling as a result, which is kind of sad. But
Well, the thing is, it's like it's on a console that's relatively new. Like a lot of people have to buy Wii U's in order to play Sonic Lost World. So I can sort of see, after the Wii, there weren't like I could say like the Wii. This is opening up a whole new can of worms, but the Wii was generally. I had a lot of games that were just like bargain bin kind of throwaway games, and a lot of the good Nintendo stuff. There wasn't really enough of it, So maybe some people saw the Wii, they saw it collect dust, and they were like, "Well, I'm not buying a Wii U." So they were like, Sonic Lost World, but I'm not buying a Wii U because Nintendo. So
Yeah.
whether it's because the game just doesn't appeal to people, or it's because Nintendo hasn't sold enough Wii U's or whatever. I'm sure it's sold enough Wii U's, but no.
I, I think the simple reason why Sonic Lost World hasn't sold that well is for two reasons. One, the reviewers. Oh, the reviews. We could go into a nice little tangent about that as well, because of reviews about this game I'm really questioning the legitimacy of at times.
Yeah, but this is like every year though.
Yeah.
I would say before Colors, I think even Generations had its fair share of bad reviews. It's just like it's always going to happen. There's always going to be. Oh man, how come insert media outlet here didn't say Sonic and the Black Knight was perfect? How dare you? And then it just happens again with the next game. What do you mean Sonic 4 Episode 1 isn't perfect? Fuck you. So.
The thing for me is it's not just the fact that they're saying they're bad, it's more so why. I think that to the game design.
Yeah.
Those are the type of things I had a problem with. It's when they're not really giving the game credit for where credit is due, and are blaming they're purposely playing badly and calling it on the game when it really isn't the game. Those are the kind of reviews I have a problem with. But if the reviews do explain why it's bad to a degree, I'm gonna have no problem with it. Case in point, Clement's review, ladies and gentlemen, of Sonic 06.
You love that review.
Oh yes, because it finally something actually shut me up for once in terms of Sonic. Like I can't argue with that review. And it was like I said, it's like I told Clement in a call not too long ago. That review pretty much explained to me why the game was bad in a way that no one else did, which was he actually explained it.
Well, that's the thing. I made my review 3 hours because I did really have legitimate things that like no one talks about this. Why? How? It's like people. The thing I always dislike about like 10-year-old kids who say the game is good, and they're 10, damn it, but they never explain what it is about these levels that is fun to replay. Like if I'm going into the mindset of Sonic 06 that like, okay, it doesn't have glitches, soundtrack's great, realistic graphics are good, Eggman looks badass. If I'm going into the mindset with that, what about Wave Ocean makes you want to replay it? What about Dusty Desert and Aquatic Base makes you want to replay it? And nothing, because the levels suck too. Like even if the game was polished well, I think it's just awful all around. So it's just like, no, people, don't defend Crisis City. Crisis City sucked too. So I don't know, but
yeah, like it was just one of those things where it felt good to finally get a good, solid explanation of why the game was the game, and just why it failed so badly. I now know why, and that makes me feel good because it makes me feel good to see this game fail for some reason.
Yes, fail, you piece of shit.
It comes down to it. It really does. But I think we've gone long enough about Sonic 06 as it is, and Sonic Lost World. There's really not much else to say, but to watch Clement's Sonic 06 review and enjoy it for what it is, because it's definitely something I would recommend solely because of the fact that it explains stuff no one else explains. I have never seen a review get so detailed on Sonic 06 and actually explain why the game's bad. And actually say it's not just glitches Because I was one of those people that heard it's glitches and loading screens. That's all I came into playing '06 knowing what was bad. That's all I thought was bad about the game. So when I find out from Clement's review that it was everything in all actuality, I thought, oh, well then.
Yeah. We know it's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anywho, moving on.
Welcome to the Whoring Out Clement show here on Sonic Paradox.
Oh, really? I didn't even bribe you or anything.
Yeah. We're bribing Sonic Lost World, just so you know. No. But really, though, we've gone long enough about Sonic Lost World, but that's just how the game is. We haven't really gone into it yet. Me especially. Clement had the Brain Scratch Comms playthrough of Sonic Lost World to talk about, but I didn't really get into details on Lost World other than the written review, so that's kind of why we went for a good while with that. But finally, guys, we're gonna move on. I'm sure it's really nice, but it's a miracle, I know, but we are going to get into talking about other stuff, I assure you. And oh, you can actually see I can't really stick the what is it, the chat now on front of it. I might have to fix that in settings. But anyway,
I could see it.
yeah, I can see it now. It's all within my reach. Endless possibility, but I couldn't resist. That song's my jam, yo.
Right on. Unleashed had good music.
Oh yeah. But yeah, it's there's going to be there's an interesting development that actually happened this morning. Apparently, Sony Pictures has registered the domains to Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Dun dun dun.
There's some bits of uncertainty about that because, it's not definite. But I think people forget that there were registered domain stories that did actually happen. Sonic Generations, for example. Sonic the Hedgehog 4, for example. There are domain registering. There were domains that were registered that ended up being accurate. Will this be accurate? You never know. But either way, that is very, very huge. To find out that there might be a chance that the Sonic the Hedgehog movie may very well be getting developed at this time. You never know. Time will tell. But
Yeah, it's my question is, what would you want out of a Sonic movie? Would you want it to be like totally CGI cartoon, totally like hand-drawn animated cartoon, or would you like to see them try a live action thing where they have sort of like the Eddie LeBron fan film, if you've seen that?
oh yes, I've seen it, and I'm not sure if I want to see it again.
I think everyone made the comparison when they heard that the domain name was registered. It was like, ah, sweet, it's Eddie LeBron's fan film being made into a real movie. And look, I got nothing against Eddie LeBron. He can make his own interpretation of Sonic that he wants. Knuckles can have fingers. I'm not judging.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure Knuckles has fingers under his gloves, but whatever.
Like, I think a lot of people seem to defend this movie in the fact that it's a fan movie. Get over it. It's not supposed to be top-notch quality, and he probably didn't have that much money. Here's the thing: he kind of did have quite a bit of money. There was a fundraiser, if I recall correctly. I think he spent it all on the cameos, all these celebrity cameos that didn't need to be there. There were little glitches that could easily have been fixed. There could have been, well, not glitches, but there were a few errors with the animating. They could have easily fixed that, even with the budget as it was. Budget had nothing to do with this, people. The money was spent. The thing is that they wasted money. Not that they didn't have enough money, they wasted it. That's the thing. And not to mention, just because it's a fan movie doesn't mean we're gonna give it mercy points. Because it's a fan movie, and by now the whole serious side of Sonic. What part of Sonic and serious reality universe do people not understand?
Yeah, that's the only thing. Is like whatever this movie will be, don't try and make it over dramatic as fuck. You know,
Yeah.
it's a series about a blue hedgehog who eats chili dogs and runs through loop de loops. You know, I'm not expecting a gripping tale of will Sonic find love. You know.
Will Sonic find love? Will Shadow find that damn fifth Chaos Emerald? Will Eggman be able to finish his sub sandwich that Ergo finished for him? Tune in next time on Sonic Ball Z. Wait,
That's
what?
another thing. Do you think if they do make a movie, do they think it's going to be like focused on the Genesis stuff, where it's just Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Eggman, or do you think they're going to try and bring in stuff like Shadow the Hedgehog and Rouge and all of the modern like post Sonic Adventure kind of characters?
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what could happen to this movie. Just as much as I'm curious about the Sonic Boom um, cartoon.
Oh yeah, that cartoon.
Yeah.
The cartoon has the voice actors from the games. Like
Yeah.
Mike Pollock is Eggman. I think Roger Craig Smith is Sonic, I believe.
I believe, yeah. So I think so far only Mike has confirmed that he's going to be in the cartoon so far anyway. But it isn't. If he's in it, it's not that hard to. I don't think it's that hard to argue that perhaps the others are coming back as well. But yeah, it's
Unless Mike Pollock is like really really strict about who plays Eggman, and like he went in there and he's like, no, only I play Eggman. I don't care who you have in the back there in the rehearsal room. I'm Eggman.
I'm Baldy McNose hair. Damn it!
But aren't you doing the games too? No, I'm Eggman. Only me.
I am Eggman. That's what I am. I have the master plan.
Like I'm just thinking, like, who did Mike Pollock kill to keep being Eggman all these years? He was him in Sonic X, and then the 4Kids voice actors went into the games, and all of a sudden he was the game Eggman. And then when they got rid of the 4Kids, he's like, no, I'm still Eggman. Okay. Now we have the Sonic Boom cartoon. Still Eggman. All right. Sure, Mike, whatever.
GG, Mike. GG.
We aren't going to ask you to leave. You can be Eggman. Go nuts.
Yeah, more the merrier.
You know what they say.
Yep. We're good with the puns, by the way, guys. I should figure you realize that because we had the master plan, you know. But no, really, like the cartoon and the movie, if the movie does come to fruition, I can see the movie having potential, just like I can see the cartoon having potential. It's just we don't know anything about this, you know. We know so little that anything could happen.
All we know is that a domain's been registered. That could get canceled. We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. But there really isn't much to say about this. A domain has been registered. That domain is carrying a Hedgehog movie.
Just don't get Michael Bay.
Yeah.
He's already ruined Transformers. He's gonna ruin Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I assume.
Yeah.
Maybe Turtles will be good. I don't know, but just keep Michael Bay away from Sonic.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we did kind of forget about talking about the new Mario and Sonic game, did we?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that game came out too.
Yeah, that game came out. You know, there was snow. I'm sure a lot of the country doesn't want to think about snow right now, but there was snow.
I live in Canada. I had to shovel snow this morning.
Yeah, we like pretty much 2/3 of the country right now are buried under 3 inches of ice and been like just bombarded with snow.
Did you play Mario and Sonic Sashi 14?
Unfortunately, no. I'm gonna be getting that for Christmas more than likely, but I have seen a lot of I've seen the game in action. It's something.
It's I've played all the Mario and Sonic games. I own Sashi. and I would say that it's pretty average fare. If you're looking for a multiplayer game for the Wii U, maybe you and your friends will have fun with it. I still think it's pretty average, really. It's nothing that like Vancouver 2010 is a better game. I'm gonna say that Vancouver 2010 is a better game at being Mario and Sonic at the Winter Olympics, and it's got quirks, you know. But it's nothing I would actually recommend to people and be like, dude, spend $60 on Mario and Sonic because you won't regret it. You know, it's not like it's a Lost World or anything. It's just it's a minigame collection that has your favorite Mario and Sonic characters doing quirky things, like they can go bobsledding in Speed Highway. That's kind of fun the first time. You can go Bullet Bill. You can go Bullet Bill riding in the Sweet Mountain from Sonic Colors, and you have to dodge all the chocolate oceans and stuff. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah,
Uh,
I should note for the record, guys, that just because Clement is Canadian, that doesn't mean he's biased towards Vancouver one at all. Just saying.
Shut up.
But Dad.
No, no, the dream events aren't really as interesting as they are in Vancouver, honestly. And I'm not being biased, but like they're kind of lacking in the dream department, and all of the main Olympic activities are pretty much already in Vancouver, and some of the activities are actually done a little bit worse. Some are done better. But like the only new event Olympic wise is like doubles figure skating and the biathlon where you shoot targets while you're skiing around. And that was in the DS version of Vancouver. So it wasn't in the Wii version of Vancouver. But
Yeah.
it just sort of feels like a lot of the activities are very samey, where you're really it seems like every minigame you're just moving the gamepad and or the Wiimotes while dodging certain things. Like if you're skiing, you're going downhill, you're knocking down flags, or going left or right to flags, and you're going down the hill. If you're snowboarding down a hill. You're moving the Wiimotes left and right to go down the hill. When you're on the bobsleigh, you're moving the Wiimote left and right to position yourself on the ice that you're going down. A lot of the activities are just very samey, and there's not much diversity there. It's not like the Summer Olympics where you have all kinds of stuff from running to horseback riding to gymnastic, like uneven bars and stuff. And the dream events just feel lacking because the Vancouver game had everything. You know, you had like Mario Galaxy ski jumping level, it had like a Radical Highway snowboarding level, and Sashi 2014, it has like maybe 8 dream events, and that's pretty much it. And they're kind of disappointing when it's really the same thing over again, you know? It's
Yeah.
like you're bobsleighing through Speed Highway, but it's not really that different from regular Olympic bobsleigh. It's just this time it has a rockin' soundtrack, and there's a whole bunch of chow signs that you're sliding by and stuff. But soundtrack's great. I'll say that.
Oh yeah. It's interesting, that's for sure.
They got a whole bunch of Mario and Sonic remixes in there, and also outright lies, by the way. When I unlocked Supersonic Racing from Sonic R, I expected Supersonic Racing from Sonic R. That's not what I got. I got Supersonic Racing from Sonic Generations. You know, the Cash Cash remix?
So you got a remix of a remix.
Yeah. They do that all the time. They'll list Rooftop Run, Sonic Unleashed. I'm like, okay, it must be the Sonic Unleashed version. I listen to it. It's Act 2 of Generations. I was like, well, I like this song better, but that's not from Unleashed. This is from Generations.
Oh boy, the inaccuracies are brilliant, aren't they?
Yeah. And they do have some bitchin' remixes of the advanced tunes, though. Like, they have Neo Green Hill from Advance 1, Leaf Forest from Advance 2, and Route 99 from Advance 3, and they made some amazing remixes out of those with like guitars and stuff, and it just sounds awesome hearing Route 99 with actual instruments.
Yeah.
And they also updated White Park Act 2 from Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 2. And it's just a whole bunch of Mario and Sonic remixes, a lot of wacky situations. The doubles figure skating is kind of funny, just a little bit.
I can only imagine seeing Bowser and Eggman doing figure skates, figure eights, and
Well, the problem with doubles is that it has to be a male and a female. You can't have two characters of whoever you want.
oh well,
Yeah, so it's like you pick a male character and then you pick a female character, and there's only 4 female characters. So it's like if I choose Eggman as my male, then I have to dance with either Peach, Daisy, Amy, or Blaze, and that's all I have. So, but still, Eggman gets to lift Blaze up, and they get to hold hands and do twirls, and it's silly shit.
yeah, pretty much. Like I guess it's disappointing me that Mario and Sonic 2014 didn't quite fare as good as the previous Winter Games and the London one, but at least it has the online multiplayer. That's a huge plus in my book. But no,
Yeah, that's the new thing. That's definitely the new thing. Every other game has always just been like you get ranked, but you couldn't like literally play other people.
yeah,
This time it's like, hey, you can snowboard with someone from Japan. And they even like rank your country too. Like if you're from Canada, they'll say like you got Canada like 20 challenge points. It's boosted up in rank. Canada is top at snowboard slalom,
yeah. That's pretty much what Wii Sports Club does. They have their own specific clubs based on country and if you're in the U.S. state, and you'll actually be ranked based on how well your club is doing and winning online games with bowling and bowling and tennis right now, because they haven't released the other sports yet for some reason. But that's pretty much what sounds to me what Mario and Sonic 2014 sounds like. It's pretty much what they do with the club format on Wii Sports Club. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting game. I definitely want to at least get that, so that way I can say I still have all the Mario and Sonics, because I did get the DS version and the Wii version of 2008 Beijing. I got the DS and Wii version of Vancouver 2010. I got the 3DS and Wii version of London 2012, and more than likely I'll get the Wii U version of Sochi 2014. So
Yeah, I guess the one disappointing thing, if you care, I don't care really, but again, these games always came out in twos. They had the handheld one and they had the console one. There's no 3DS Sashi game, and so there's no story mode.
yeah.
Like, you're not going to have a crazy plot where Eggman and Bowser team up to spread fog all over London. Because fuck those guys for not letting us in the Olympics. That's really the plot of London. Eggman and Bowser were not accepted into the Olympics, so they fog the whole place and make everyone do Olympic events.
Yeah,
It's silly.
it is. But I guess, it happens sometimes. But
Again, Sashi's just pretty average. If you didn't care about the other 3, you're not going to care about this. And it's not the crowning thing that you need to play if you're a Sonic fan. It's not like,
yeah,
you're not a Sonic fan if you didn't play this. It's like whatever. You don't need to play Sashi. It's a minigame game. So yeah.
Yep. And a remixception game.
Yeah, that's
much.
the thing. That's the best thing about it, is that it always makes remixes for YouTube. Like, you'll just listen to the soundtrack on YouTube later, and it'll be like, all right, good thing this game came out. Now I can have a bitchin' Route 99, but that's it.
Yeah, I got to be fair. It was a. It sounds like the soundtrack was good, and I have to catch it once I buy the game, actually play it and stuff. But yeah, Mario and Sonic was a thing. Probably wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they did another one a couple of years from now. More than likely, they'll do one for what was it, Rio de Janeiro or something like that, and it's supposed to host the next summer games.
Don't these games like sell really well?
They would if the Wii U had been more out there, because even this
No,
game.
I mean the previous three. Like just in general, don't the Mario and Sonic games kind of sell really well?
Oh yeah, they do. They sell really well.
It's like that's what happens when you get Mario and Sonic together. It's like you have two fan bases who want the game, you know?
It's like the most awkward shipping of all time. Except it's not really shipping. It's just fuck you. My fan base is better than you. Fuck you. No, my fan base is better than you.
Let's prove it with Rhythmic Ribbon.
And then people duke it out in this game until Smash 4 comes out, and then the ultimate battle to the death begins.
Yeah.
Sonic versus Mario versus Mega Man.
Can't wait. That game's gonna be awesome.
Same here. I can't wait for that game either. This is literally the first game to have this kind of an outright war of fan bases. Sonic versus Mario versus Mega Man. Who knows if it'll happen again? Clash of the Titans. But yeah, I think there's really not much to say about Mario and Sonic. It's a mini game pretty much that you can play.
Yeah, it's like I'm not on my channel going like, let's talk about this one, guys. It's just I don't even know if I'm gonna do a vlog review on it. It's just like it's a game. If you want to follow my Miiverse posts of Eggman doing awesome, you know, look me up on Wii U. But it's not really. It's a mini game collection. Shocking.
Make sure to like, favorite, and subscribe Clement's new video. Eggman does an awesome.
Well, that's every video.
Yeah. Welcome to Clement's Eggman Does an Awesome series here on YouTube. Let's see if you can clear my awesome video.
Eggman's dialogue in Sonic Adventure was the best stuff.
Indeed. But speaking of confusion and things that didn't quite go according to plan, apparently an actor, someone passed away named the same actor who voiced Tails in Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Well, this person that passed away had the same exact name as the voice actor of Tails in Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, but unfortunately they were miscredited, and as it turns out, that person was an entirely different person completely. They did not actually voice Tails in Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. So as it turns out, the person that really did voice Tails in that cartoon, apparently it's a mystery at this point. But within the past week, we did have a bit of confusion because someone passed away that had the same exact name as the voice actor of Tails in Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, and pretty much everyone credited him as such. And as it turns out, he wasn't the actual voice actor of Tails in that cartoon. So
That's weird.
yeah.
So, like, we can't find the actor who played Tails. Like, does anyone... Like, I don't know what he would be doing today. I mean, Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog was years ago, but...
Yeah. Pretty much.
And I think he'd be surprised to hear that fans care.
Oh yeah. Fans do care. Like, they were sending all their sympathies out to him, even if he wasn't the
I mean, don't get me wrong, death is death, and death is tragic, and I'm not putting down, like, if Tails' voice actor did die, I'm not gonna say, oh, who cares, he's just voiced Tails. Like, obviously, it's a tragedy. I'm not trying to be, like, you know.
the one person that would definitely agree that death is death is Zor.
Only the Reaper wins in the end. I don't care what anyone says. That Zeddy was hilarious.
Yeah, I think Zor was definitely the most funniest of the characters in the game. Eggman not too far behind.
Yeah.
Oh
Uh,
man.
but yeah, I don't know where the story came from. I don't know. I just knew that like one day I was on Twitter and then everyone was talking about how, oh man, Tails died. Like, I mean, like Tails' voice actor died, and it's just like, oh, that sucks. And then like literally, I don't know if it was the same day or at least the next day. Danny Wells, the actor who played Luigi in the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, died too.
It
And
was the
just like
same day.
it's just like, oh my god, all the sidekicks are dying. What's happening?
Year of Luigi, come back. We want you, Luigi. That's Mama Luigi, you Mario. And SSF.
It's like, where's Burt Ward? He played Robin. Where is he?
Where's everyone going? Why is everyone leaving me? Why do I just see a loading screen here? Everyone, come back. But no, really, they did sort that out, and we do wish all the best to his family and all that, because the families of all the people that have passed away in the past week, because it's been a sad list, but an unfortunate list of quite a few people that have passed away, and we do wish the families and friends of these of the people that are unfortunately no longer with us all the best, and they are in our thoughts.
Yeah.
But speaking of people being in our thoughts, I'm making such horrible segues, by the way. Boy, All Stars Racing Transformed.
Yeah, the special charity DLC.
Oh yes, that's a thing. Uh, Let me put it this way: I would only buy it for the fact that it's charity, because uh,
You actually have played this. I saw it on your YouTube channel, right? You actually downloaded this?
I actually did download the DLC, and I actually have played it. Um,
I own the Xbox 360 version, so I look in the Xbox Live Marketplace, and all they still have is just Metal Sonic. They don't really bring any of those Steam DLC characters like the Team Fortress guy or anything to
yeah,
Xbox. I don't know why they don't. Like Team Fortress 2 is on Xbox. Like why can't he be on Xbox? I don't know, but so yeah, I can't experience this DLC because I don't own Sonic Transformed on PC. I own it for 360, but
yeah. I can pretty much summarize this character in a nutshell with one single line, and it's not even really a line. It's just "Ow."
what?
That's 1/3 of the things he says is that. And in some cases, he does that line for so long and intersects with that same line again. So you're hearing him do that twice on top of each other. So it's literally ohception. And it is the most grating thing. You just want to say, shut the fuck up. Why? He's the most annoying character in the game.
Oh, dude. Oh no.
Like I said, the only redeeming factor is the fact that this is for charity. That's the only reason why I would suggest getting the DLC. But
If you look like Simon, you can pretend it's you.
yeah,
That's something, worth downloading for, I guess.
yeah, yeah, that's a thing. But yeah, the Yogscast DLC.
I guess the big question, I guess this is why we bring this up is, I guess some people were kind of annoyed I guess that instead of making like a charity and like a Sega character, like how about Bayonetta? How about Rystar? How about any other Sega character or Sonic character if you want like Zaz of the Deadly Six or something? I don't know. But like they make it a podcaster or a YouTube personality, and again, I don't follow this channel. I don't know what he's contributed. Like he's obviously helping with charity. I don't know what else. I don't know how Sega got in contact with him or how he contacted Sega or what's up with that. But why him? But that's the big question. Why him? Why not a Sega character for a charity download? I don't know.
Yeah. Why not? Like, there are characters that people have been wanting for the last year now, and they haven't added them in yet. And it's weird. I think when it comes to Simon the Yogscast, they don't even care about Sonic and Sega. In fact, they haven't mentioned anything about this DLC. Not once.
Not on their YouTube channels or anything?
Nope. The only thing they've done is mention the game itself being a part of the Humble Bundle, the Yogscast Humble Bundle. And it was like, hey, here's All-Star Racing Transform, next game. That's all they've done to promote this game.
Damn.
They have done nothing to promote the DLC or the game itself. It just seems striking that they've been added into the game. I would be making a big deal about it. I'd be making a video saying, "Hey, I'm in this game. Go play it."
Oh God, you couldn't imagine the video I'd make. I'd be like, "Oh look, the great Clement is a playable character in Sonic Transformed. Yeah."
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, this is happening.
Yeah.
Charity's charity. That's good, but it's just it's just weird that like the YouTube personalities you're watching on YouTube are somehow becoming part of the gaming community, like legitly. Like I don't know if you saw the VGX, the Video Game X Awards or whatever, Spike Awards. It was terrible. But at one point, they had a segment where they were demoing a zombie game, with the hosts Joel McHale and Jeff Keighley. And then after they demoed it, after they were already showing gameplay footage with someone with a controller in his hand, like as in the room, like they showed it. That was the game. They were like, okay, and now we're cutting to PewDiePie of YouTube as he plays a demo we gave him of this particular game. And then PewDiePie, YouTube personality, millions of subscribers. From what I understand, all he does is play video games for the internet. Maybe he contributes to charity and stuff too. But he was on this awards show. I guess Spike contacted him. I guess Spike went to PewDiePie and they were like, hey, we're going to give you a free game and you can demo it for our awards show. And you'll be on screen. And everyone who subscribes to you will be like, oh man, PewDiePie's in an awards show. So that happened. And now it's like... And again, on the topic of what I'm talking about is that Sega, I guess, I don't know who contacted who, but Yogscast YouTube personality is a playable character in Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. It's like, it's just perplexing and weird where, can I get a game character in the next Sonic racing game? Can I be in it? Because... I'll do charity. Why not? Not to make light of charity, but it's like, how does this happen? Why did this happen? How did this come about? Who contacted who? I don't know.
Why is
it's
this
weird.
a thing?
Yeah.
How do I All-Stars?
What is this All-Star?
It's now become Sonic and everyone else transformed. Sonic and everyone else transformed. That's what the name of this game is now. But no, really. To be fair, though, like I said, it is for charity. It's for special effect. This won't be the last time you're going to be hearing about special effect, by the way, for the next few weeks, because I have an interesting announcement to close the show off. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, poke, poke.
Ooh.
It's, Well, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting to see how people react to that announcement. But indeed, I'd get it just on the basis of charity. It's charity, support it. You know, it's $5 on Steam, so you know, I mean, why not? But the character itself is, don't just don't.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just perplexing that you can. I guess they got him in the studio to make the voice clips that you hate so much, and they could have made. And keep in mind, this is still the same game that everyone was already going like, why is Danica Patrick in this?
Yeah.
Like people were already like, why is real race car driver Danica Patrick in a Sonic and Sega game? Why is Ryu Hazuki from Shenmue not in here? I don't know, but
Yeah.
and I can sort of see Wreck-It Ralph. I will accept Wreck-It Ralph. I don't know why. I just feel like Sonic was in his movie. Sure, Ralph can be in it. Why not? I don't care. But
It'll give him an excuse to wreck his opponents.
he's game jumping. It makes sense. Wreck-It Ralph could guest in any video game, and it would be totally in canon with his character because he's game jumping.
Yeah.
He's going turbo.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, he's driving a car that has boost, so he's going turbo in that sense too. So he fits. Danica Patrick, I don't know. At this point, Danica Patrick makes a little bit more sense than even Simon from the Yogscast being in the game, because she's a racer. This is a racing game.
Yeah. Like again, it just makes even less sense. Where it's like people were already bitching about Danica Patrick, but then it's just like, okay, why the Yogscast guy? Is he like an on-screen personality most of the time too, or? Again, I don't watch his stuff, so I don't know, but it's just weird that they're adding internet celebrities as part of actual like cameo playable characters. Like I kind of get it with like actual fan made. Okay, there's the Angry Video Game Nerd video game.
Yeah.
They released that not too long ago. It was an 8-bit game, very challenging, big throwback to his character, the Angry Video Game Nerd, and there was a whole bunch of other internet personalities in there too, like Angry Joe and Egoraptor, stuff like that. And I can get that, because it's about an internet personality. It's his game, but it's weird when like you have Sonic and Gilius from Golden Axe and the ninja from Shinobi, and then right next to them is Kevin or whoever from Yogscast.
It's Simon, yeah.
Oh, Simon, that's it, right?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just weird. It really is. And it's like I said, I really wish that they would focus on the characters that people have actually been wanting, because they would get so much money from that. They really would.
Yeah, I think most people would rather play as Rystar or Bayonetta or something,
Yeah.
And now that Sega and Atlas are the same company, throw in some Persona characters. Why not?
Yeah. Boy, the Sega's gonna make some good money off the Persona games.
Oh God, could you imagine like Sonic Racing 3? They get like Persona characters in there. Oh,
Oh yes.
they get like Catherine from Catherine.
Brilliant.
But,
yeah. all together now. But yeah. But other than that, hard to believe we're only halfway through the show, but we did get news that finally the 3D version of Sonic 1 did come out. That's all there really is to it. It's Sonic 1, but in 3D.
I'm not going to download it because I already have like 5,000 versions of Sonic 1. But,
Yeah.
and again, 3D, I always hated 3D. I hate it watching movies. I hate it in video games. I don't want 3D, Like every time I play a 3DS game, that slider is all the way down. I could care less. I don't know how you feel about 3D, but I remember it ruined Tron Legacy for me. where the 3D was so obnoxious and it was so bad. And then I watched Tron Legacy when it came out on home video, and it was like night and day. It was a much better movie now that I could actually focus on what was happening.
Yeah. The 3D, the 3D is great depending on how well it's executed. I don't think the 3D is disorienting to me at all on the 3DS. It's just A, you got to get used to it, and B, the game needs to handle it right. If the game doesn't handle the 3D right, it can get a bit awkward, and that's where you just toggle it off. The 3DS has a slider for that. There's an app for that. No.
But does Sonic really need to be in 3D? Like, what does it do? Does it just make like the backgrounds pop out more or something?
I'm not sure. There probably be some. I think there's a review on Sonic Retro of the 3D version of Sonic One. Where I think they do talk about how the 3D is like on there, but really, there's not much to Sonic One on 3D. They didn't change much. It's not the mobile version that has a bunch of new tweaks and stuff like that. It's just Sonic 1, the original, but in 3D. Go nuts, kids.
If you haven't already bought Sonic Generations, which had Sonic 1, or, any of the Wii Virtual Console versions and stuff like that. Like, you can get Sonic 1 for pretty much everything now.
Yeah. Along with the rest of the Genesis games. Hell, the DS has Sonic 1.
Yeah.
Sonic Classic Collection.
Yeah, I forgot about that. So, and I know you can get it for the PSP on the Sega Vintage Collection or whatever.
Yeah, and also on Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection.
Oh yeah, that too. Again, I own that game, so I have so many versions of Sonic 1. I have the Genesis original. I have it on Xbox 360 from the Xbox Live Arcade. Achievements were easy as sin, by the way. Those weren't achievements at all.
those were graphics that popped up for 2 seconds and then vanished.
Collect a Chaos Emerald, 50 points. Thanks. But
press the jump button to jump. 100G.
It's like Sonic 1's Sonic 1. If you like Sonic 1 and you want it to be in 3D and you don't want to play it on your TV screen, but rather on the 3DS on the go, then get it, I guess. But
spoiler alert, though, it's Sonic 1.
I just don't know what adding 3D really. It doesn't make the game better or anything. I hate 3D. I despise 3D.
I don't think the 3D really affects much at all. It's a thing. I mean, at least they're putting emphasis on what the 3DS is actually doing. Like in comparison to the gamepad on the Wii U, where it's kind of used but not at the same time.
Yeah. You know what I was surprised by? When Legend of Zelda Wind Waker came out for the Wii U, they also simultaneously released Legend of Zelda 1 and 2 on the Wii U's Virtual Console, like the old 8-bit games, to get people, I guess, excited for Zelda, or to just be like, hey, if you can't afford Wind Waker, here's Legend of Zelda if you want to play the original classic. And I was expecting, like, when Sonic Lost World came out, that Sega was also going to bundle in like Sonic 1, 2, and 3 and Knuckles on the Wii U's Virtual Console. And I keep waiting for that because I want to see the Miiverse posts where people get to Carnival Night Zone and they don't know how to get past that damn barrel. And I just want to read those posts and laugh and laugh and laugh.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like there's no reason, for the 3D in Sonic 1 sometimes, and in comparison to Wind Waker, I haven't really played Wind Waker, and I don't know when I will, but I could have played it when I went to the Best Buy 3D or E3 event, but yeah, it's a thing,
Just if you want to play Sonic 1, you can get it.
Yep.
So
it's there, go wild, but
or you could just play it for free on an emulator. Not that we advocate that.
yeah, we at Sonic Paradox do not promote the use of emulators and or other copyrighted tools. Everything belongs to Sonic and Sega and Sonic the Hedgehog. Copyright 2013, 1991, 69 AD. No, actually, I don't even know where I'm going with this. But yes, that's out. It's been a like I said, I wasn't kidding when I said it's been a busy couple of months for the Sonic community with all these games coming out. But
Did you talk about Sonic's announcement in the new Smash Brothers on the show yet?
oh yeah, I did that not long after it happened, like within the few weeks after it had taken place.
Ah, cool.
So
But yeah, Sonic's gonna be in the next Smash Brothers. Yeah.
yay, spoiler. Uh, woo.
The thing about Sonic is like he's always gonna be busy because he's Sonic.
Yeah.
It's like when I do all the playthroughs of Sonic games on my channel, I'm not at Sonic Unleashed yet, and people keep asking for it because they assume I should be at it right now, and I'm like, no. Do you not know how many games get released a year by Sonic?
Yeah.
It's like it never ends. Like even like when Sonic before Sonic Colors, you got like Sonic Free Riders and Sonic 4 Episode 1 and Sonic and the Black Knight and all this stuff, and it's just like it never ends.
Sonic Fury Riders. Oh fuck.
Oh God.
Never again. I played Sonic Free Riders. I beat the story. I was sore for 3 days. Never again.
Worse or better than the 3DS special stages?
I'd say better in the sense that I'm at least able to control Sonic in that to a degree. 3DS special stages of Lost World, not so much.
Damn, I've never heard that comparison before.
Yeah.
Usually it's the other way around. Some people are like, I can't control Free Riders at all. Hey, at least I can control the 3DS special stages. So it's like, uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm the exact opposite. What else is new? It's not the first time.
I still have to really play it more. I played Free Riders for a bit, and I even made a video out of it.
Which I saw.
And it was just retarded. But I still have to play the entire game. I actually own it, and I gotta connect because I had to replace my Xbox 360. I got like a red ring for like the second time, and I was just like, ugh. I'm getting one with a bigger like hard drive so I can like install all my games on it and stuff. And Free Riders, when I got my new Xbox, I got to connect with it. So I was just like, well, I'm gonna have to get to Free Riders eventually. So I bought it.
Yeah.
Still haven't touched it though because I don't want to.
Oh, the joys when you actually get to that game in the list.
I have to film myself when I do that playthrough too. That's the sad thing. It
Oh,
has to be live. It has to be blind. It has to be like not face cam, but like body cam. Me in the corner doing the tricks you see on the screen.
Oh yeah.
God,
What
I'm not looking forward to that.
what fun that will be means even more editing. But yeah, we do welcome you on our greatest love of Sonic of all time on here. We've hated on Sonic 06, we've hated on the 3DS version of Lost World, and now Sonic Free Riders. We're great Sonic fans, aren't we?
No, legit point. I think Sonic fans are allowed to hate Sonic games that are of terrible quality. Like I think it's always bad when you have the kind of fan who, like a cult, they just endorse whatever because it's Sonic, it has to be good.
Yeah.
Like I always hate it when people are like, no, Clement, it's Sonic, therefore it's not terrible. I'm like, fuck you. I love Sonic. I wouldn't be into this franchise if I didn't grow up on these games and stick with them as long as I have. But you know what? Secret Ring's controlled like crap.
He's a survivor. he
And you know what? Some episodes of Sonic X were really boring and stupid.
And Chris Thorndike was a thing, you know.
Chris Thorndike is the worst thing ever.
Yeah. uh, so yeah, speaking of things,
And Marine the Raccoon can die in a fire.
fuck Marine.
It's okay to hate certain Sonic things, folks. It's okay.
It is.
The majority, I feel, is good. That's why I'm a fan of this stuff. But there
Oh,
are bad,
yeah.
there are bad Sonic things. Feel free to talk about how bad they are.
Go wild, young child.
Sega can take it. They're covered in money.
They're survivors. But yeah, you know, that's Sonic 1 was a thing. It's on 3D. Free Riders still sucks. Last time on the Sonic News show. Uh, but no, this is the point in the show where we start getting into the more, not really something much we could talk about in terms of the topics thing, because they're not really that huge, but they're kind of huge. For example, Sage is returning, ladies and gentlemen. The Sonic fan game, the Sonic Amateur Games Expo, is returning on the interwebs twice a year starting February of 2014. It's a thing.
I'm unfamiliar.
Oh yes. It's pretty much all the big fan games. I think Eggman Hates Furries was one of them.
I've heard of that.
Oh yeah. uh, that was an interesting game, and I'm going to be probably LPing it on my YouTube channel very soon. Because now I know how to make it so it's not in full screen, so which will be nice. But yeah, that's an interesting game. Oh boy, that will make you cringe though at one point. I'm not gonna say it. Don't spoil it for Clement, but you're going to get rather you're gonna be rather shocked at the ending. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. No, but I really love Sonic fan games, though. I do think that, like, the Sonic community is always so passionate about making these kind of fan-made projects that, like, anything that, like, that brings up, you know, Sonic fan-made games and shows off something cool, you know, that's awesome. I can't wait to try it. Like, I love that people actually made ROM hacks of Sonic 1, 2, and 3 where you can play as Amy Rose. Like, to me, that's awesome. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
any other community that does that.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is pretty much the Super Mario World hacking community, because they hacked Super Mario World ROMs. But other than that, no. And even that, they mod Sonic Generations. They mod Sonic
Yeah.
Generations, people.
Like, that's a big project to be modding. Like, when I see people literally recreating Sky Troops from Shadow the Hedgehog on Sonic Generations, I'm just like, Jesus, that's awesome.
Hell, they even put Professor Pickle in Sonic Generations,
Yeah.
which is
And it was the
freaking
most
brilliant.
hilarious. And then they have someone did some awesome Sonic 06. What's the dog's name?
Pele or something like that. The dog, the beloved dog in '06.
Oh, Pele, the beloved dog. Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned him in the '06 review too.
Well, yeah, because you had to walk him at one point.
Yeah.
What a great mission!
Yeah. Best mission of all time. Sonic the Hedgehog, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sorry, I don't want to talk about 06.
We already did. It's too late.
But again, it's crazy what fans can do with projects like that. And the only other times I find it weird is like when they just invent like these crazy awesome games that, you know,
Yeah.
like you get stuff like Sonic before the sequel and after the sequel, which are pretty awesome stuff, really.
Yeah. It's like, although this fan base can be annoying at times, there is a creative, good side to the fan base too that I don't think a lot of people see often because the bad side of the fan base is it tends to be more vocal, I guess. Um, LOL nerves. I didn't even know you had a live stream account. That's
I
interesting.
didn't do that.
Then who was that?
It wasn't me. I haven't touched a keyboard at all. Someone's using my name. It's slander.
Is Clement Nega in the damn chat or something? Is Clement Nega in there? Um,
Either way.
I
But yeah, Sonic community's always been like crazy good. Like when it comes to like fan made stuff and So I don't know what Sage is, but I hope it comes up with some pretty awesome stuff.
yeah. I'll be one thing about my Twitter is that I pretty much promote a lot of big stuff in the community, and Sage will be one of them. So rest assured, you'll get the link to Sage in one of the tweets at some point. So no doubt in my mind. There's no website yet, however, but there will be soon, I'm sure. But Sage is returning to twice a year again, which is essentially what they used to do before they went to a yearly format. Um, and it's going to be interesting to see how things go, because fan games do get produced pretty often in the community. So rest assured, Sage won't be the second Sage. They're basically calling it Act 2, and Act 1 and Act 2, but for obvious reasons. But rest assured, even on Act 2 of Sage, they will have other hacks and fan games to show off. So, but yeah, that's the thing.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Dun 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 dun. Anyway, what the fuck? Clement Nega, shut up. I like how Clement Nega is saying he loves Sonic 06. Good for you. Please tell us more, except not, because you're gonna just continue the Sonic 06 love in this show even more. But yeah, Sonic Dash has been published on Android. Finally. Not much to say about that, though.
I think I can actually. I guess I can get that now. I own an Android, but
Yeah.
yeah, I've never played Sonic Dash at all. I know that it keeps getting updated like constantly. Like I know they keep adding more characters. Like you don't just play as Sonic now. You can play as like Shadow and
Blaze and Amy
and they've added like I think FTA mentioned they actually added like Zaz from the Deadly Six as a boss fight or whatever.
yeah, Gareth actually did mention that, and they did actually have a bit where you can fight Zaz from Lost World in there. And he has this little yellow ball.
So this thing just constantly gets updated over and over and over again. I take it. So
Oh yeah, and they occasionally make people play the game to unlock a character by doing little challenges to reach a certain goal, which is really interesting. Definitely help. It really motivates people to actually play the game more because they want that character.
yeah, I'm familiar with like Temple Run and stuff like that. Is it basically just like you run until you fall into a pit or get hit by an enemy or something like that?
Basically, you keep running and dodging until your health counter goes down to 0. Essentially, actually, it's you lose your rings, you die. You lose your rings. You get hit again, you die. When you die, you get a chance to respawn, I believe, and all that. But I think there's like you can respawn if you have power-ups and all that to help you along. But there comes a point where you can't run anymore. Pretty much. I remember the Sonic Retro stream showing it off, but yeah, that's pretty much what it is. You're just running, jumping, hitting springs, defeating badniks, and trying to get as high a point score as possible. Cause that's all you're really doing is it's a high-scoring kind of game, arcade of sorts.
Yeah.
So
The thing I find is that anytime I'm on the go anywhere, I'm generally like driving or I'm just with people and chatting, like I'm with my friends and we're just talking and stuff. So I don't really find I'm much of a handheld gamer. I did get a 3DS earlier this year, and I've been sort of catching up with handheld gaming as of late. Uh, but it's like I don't really have an inkling to get Sonic Dash because when am I ever going to play it? I don't want to play games on my phone. I just want to use my phone as a phone.
Yeah, that's
And maybe as a GPS if I'm out of town and I'm trying to find where the hell I'm going. But
yeah, that's exactly how I'm like. Like, if I get a phone, because I have an Android tablet right now. If I get a phone, you know what I'm gonna use that phone for? As a phone. I know this is very shocking and totally against the realms of reality now, but it really does feel good to use a phone as a phone.
what are you, a nerd? You have to buy the newest phone day one when it's announced. You gotta wait in the lineups and everything because god damn it, phones are important. We gotta have all the apps and all the technical mumbo jumbo and
Like, I
I'll
play.
never get why people still get like super excited about the iPhone and stuff. It's like you have a phone, just use that.
Yeah. Like, I have a video game console. You know what I play on there? Video games.
Movies.
Spoiler.
Damn
Yeah.
it. I was wrong.
Netflix for Smash 4. Do it. No. Uh,
Oh, that'd be broken.
yeah, that would be very broken. But
And,
yeah.
and Xbox 360's Netflix is terrible. I hate to interrupt this great discussion about the iPhone, but I can't log on to Netflix on Xbox 360 for some reason. I've never been able to. But on my Wii U, I can no problem. It's weird.
Petition for Sonic Lost World 3DS special stages on iOS and Android devices. Who's with me? Oh dear God.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, this is happening.
Oh yeah. I can't wait to play that. I can go up and down and all around.
Up and down and all around.
Because that is what you do.
It is. Kind of like the freaking 3DS special stages in Sonic Lost World on the fucking 3DS. Those special stages suck. In case you haven't noticed, we don't like the special stage in the 3DS version of Sonic Lost World. I just hope you guys didn't get that before.
Just a tad.
Yeah. But on another note, Sonic appeared in the Macy's Day Parade, Thanksgiving Day Parade appearance. Blah, blah. Sonic made another appearance at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. I'm gonna get this right sooner or later. Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade once again.
Focus.
Focus, Donnie. Focus. Embrace your inner podcast.
Yeah, and how many video game mascots can you say do that? Really?
Yeah, Pikachu. That's it.
Okay, Pikachu. I don't know if Mario's ever done it. Has Mario ever had a Thanksgiving parade float?
No, but I have an interesting story to tell from the coverage stream I did of the Macy's Parade.
Alrighty.
For what people don't actually know, in the Macy's Parade stream I did, I had like a couple of correspondents from Radio Sega out at the parade route, giving information and all that while the parade was going on. But before the parade was actually happening, there was an hour of parade hype, essentially. And I had EarthCam going because EarthCam is how I thought the parade would be seen and all that. Turns out, not the case. But what happened was, in one of the EarthCams, there was apparently some kind of gathering of various cosplayers in costumes for some reason. So you're looking out in the middle of Manhattan, and all you're seeing are these people dressed as Elmo and dressed as Dora the Explorer and Mario. There's someone dressed as Mario in the middle of Manhattan while Sonic was making his appearance in the Macy's Parade.
Hey, it's time to show me up! Woohoo!
And the best thing is how we were all getting into this discussion about how Mario was planning world domination and stuff by doing because I don't even know, but there were like 4 fucking Elmos. There were 4 Elmos trolling the streets of Manhattan down there.
Elmo will inherit the earth.
There was an army of Elmos down there. and it made no sense. Like, we were having a hilarious time making fun of the Elmo army and stuff, but yeah.
I just remember I saw the float, and me and my friends just kept making like Batman references. Like we were all just like, "Oh man, the Joker's totally gonna gas everyone with that Sonic balloon," and then we're all fucked.
Wow.
He stole my balloons. Why didn't anyone tell me he had one of those things?
Yeah. I guess I figure that they use the same music for when Sonic appeared on NBC and stuff, but yeah.
Music? What music?
There was music. There's always music that appears while the commentators are commentating, while a balloon is being shown on TV. And here it was that Splash Hill remix.
Oh, really? They actually had Sonic music playing. That's interesting.
Yeah, they actually have music related to the balloon, the character that's the balloon being shown on NBC and stuff. And in case of Sonic, for the past few years, they've been playing the Mario and Sonic remix of Splash Hill Zone.
Oh, that's the new definition of Sonic. Because,
This is Sonic.
you know, Sonic 1, 2, and 3, oh, those were the 90s. Sonic 4, that's modern Sonic. That's what you gotta play every time there's a parade or something.
Oh yeah, Sonic.
This is happening.
Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade balloon. This is happening.
Oh, God.
Now with uncurling.
What?
The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Now with uncurling.
Sweet. But Momentum's fucked up. He doesn't roll all the way if you let go of the control stick.
God damn it.
Worst balloon ever.
2 out of 10 would not purchase.
Green eyes? Oh, they ruined it.
Spoiler alert, green eyes.
Can't believe that balloon has green eyes. Bullshit.
Yeah. But yeah, the Macy's Parade was a thing. Sonic Return. There were lulls. Lots of pictures were taken.
Yeah, again, again, that's the power of Sonic the Hedgehog, you know?
Yeah.
Like he and Pikachu and maybe some other video game character we can't think of right now. That's it, you know? Like, how the hell does Sonic get up there with Woody Woodpecker and shit like that?
Oh yeah.
It's like, I don't know, but somehow Sega was just like, hey, you know, we'll make a balloon. We'll make Sonic for the Thanksgiving. And they're like, all right, Sonic's a popular cultural icon. Why not?
Woo. I do love. I always fangasm every time Sonic shows up because it's that feeling. I've always enjoyed the Macy's Parade. And I said this during the stream. I've always enjoyed the Macy's Parade, but when Sonic showed up, it's like, oh my god, hell yes.
Shit got real.
Oh yeah, this is happening.
I couldn't imagine being like living in the city, and then all of a sudden a giant Sonic is just floating by the window.
All I can imagine is just hearing do 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 do.
Mega Sonic has come to eat your children. Oh.
Oh yeah, this is happening.
Run! It's Sonic the Hedgehog! Ah!
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic Hedgehog!
I could just imagine now Hogzilla coming soon to a Manhattan street near you.
You ever hear like the English in Sonic Adventure 2?
I believe I have.
Because I out of morbid curiosity, I decided to play through Sonic Adventure 2 with the Japanese voices on. Because, I don't know, I wanted to see what the voice acting was like, even though I knew what they were saying with the subtitles and stuff. But I found it was like really funny, because every now and then Sonic would just break out into English and be like really weird. So like, there's a scene where Eggman's threatening the president and they're in his limo. And you have 24 hours and I'm going to blow up, you know, the country. and then all of a sudden you just hear Sonic again, Japanese voice actor, and he just pulls up. No way!
What the shit?
Yeah,
No way. I can't believe this.
he's been speaking Japanese the whole game, and then out of nowhere, no way! It's really funny.
No way. Still better voice than Silver. Nah.
No
That's,
use.
it's no use. Take this.
This will end it.
I did. I guess it figures that I actually did get through that boss fight easily, but that's only because I knew what the fuck I was doing. Somehow. Because unlike when it comes to Sonic games, I kind of take my time with Sonic games somehow. I don't know how, but I kind of do anyway. But yeah, I guess we've reached that point in the show where I just plug the shit out of everything. Like, Volume 8 and Metropolis Mayhem are now up on YouTube. The amount of
Right
people,
on.
the amount of people I'm sure in your videos that have mentioned, hey, Metropolis Mayhem, hey, Seaside Denied. I went back, like, when I was watching your playthrough of Heroes, and I was looking in the comments of the parts that included Seaside Hill and Grand Metropolis and all that. I was actually surprised to see very few comments related to those SP works. Cause
Oh well, I think that playthrough was like before that actually happened, though. I'm pretty sure the Seaside Hill remix came out after I finished Heroes.
well, to be fair, you're still getting comments on those playthroughs even today. Believe it or not.
Yeah, I get that, but like, I don't know. I guess I don't know.
There's no explanation. Like,
More people should be quoting it. God damn it.
yeah, yeah, and what Recorder Dude said, because he kind of directed and created the thing. Well, created the lyrics and wrote them and created the whole concept of it. The collabing was mainly due to the voice acting and the animating that the rest of the SP guys did, but the Recorder Dude was the brain behind it all, essentially. And somehow Seaside Denied managed nearly 5 million views.
Oh yeah, it's a quality product. It's a quality video. It
Oh, yeah.
deserves that many.
Metropolis Mayhem is still getting up there, but to be fair, it hasn't been out for a year yet. Seaside Denied has, so. But it's
Again,
getting there.
Again, going back to the Sonic community and its passionate fan base, it's like when you have ROM hacks where they're hacking the old games, they're hacking Generations, and the Sonic shorts I've always loved ever since I saw them because they're just so funny. Like it's not just like I don't know, insular nerdy Sonic fans who draw like I don't know, lame pictures and just like I don't know. The point is the humor is there, the art is there, and it's so quotable and it's so fun. And again, it's another example of the passion of the Sonic fan base that makes me like this franchise and love the fan base sometimes. I don't always love the fan base sometimes. Sometimes the fan base can kind of get under my skin and be like, "Okay, shut up, nerd." Yes, I'm calling other people nerds. I know the hypocrisy.
I call hacks.
But when you see stuff like Seaside Hill Denied and stuff, it's just like, oh, this is why I love the internet. This is why I love being a Sonic fan. This is so fun.
Yeah.
So
How can a man that fat move fucking fast?
exactly.
Oh boy. Why can it only travel in one direction? Nathan
Like-
actually made that one.
Like there's always like that one quote has always popped up every time I've done a playthrough in some way. It's the one where why am I driving a car? And that's why Sonic
Drift sucks.
that is quoted so much on the internet. It's crazy. Like I would do Shadow the Hedgehog, and I just like someone goes, "Shadow, why am I in a car?" And that's why Shadow the Hedgehog sucks. Sonic Riders. Why am I on a hoverboard? And that's why Sonic Riders sucks.
uh,
Why am I on a watercraft? And that's why Sonic Rush Adventure sucks.
Sonic went the other direction. Will you shut up? I think the best part is the little slight nod you see, because there's actually an interesting nod to the certain cutscene in Sonic 06 where at one point in K2U's animation, which involves Sonic, Shadow, and Silver, Sonic's gradually hogging all the super abilities as time passes. And at one point, Shadow's like, "Quiet, you!" And you see Silver be all like, "Yes, sir." And what happens? And you see Silver rub the back of his head, and he's got a bandage on the back of his head, indicating the cutscene where Silver, or Shadow roundhouse kicks Silver in the head.
The best part of Sonic 06.
Yep.
I don't know anyone who doesn't like that scene. It's weird. Like, I show that to anybody who doesn't even know who Silver or Shadow are, and they're like, "Holy shit, he kicked him in the head. That's awesome."
I think the best representation of Sonic 06 is Frogman's Sonic 06 in brief animation. I don't know if you've actually seen that, but I highly recommend it because it's funny as shit.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it's what you would imagine. All that was bad about Sonic 06, for the most part, was made fun of, including a certain loading screen. And boy, is that a running gag through the whole thing too. But I won't spoil it, but I highly suggest you check it out. I'll even give you the YouTube link to it because it's fucking hilarious. But yeah, Volume 8 is a thing. It would figure that the best part was we actually did do a short for Lost World in there too.
Oh yeah.
There was actually a short for Lost World in Volume 8 where like you see, the CGI intro to Lost World when you leave the game going for a bit on the
where he defends the animals and then
yeah. What happens is you see it's Arubian Angel did this and we actually let it in, but what happens is you see Sonic and he drops in front of the animals to defend them and he's all like, "All right, let's go," and then he just speeds right past the Lost World, the Deadly Six, and you see the Deadly Six are just like, "Okay, we got knocked over a bit," and then they start getting up and they're looking back at the animals like, "Oh boy," and then you hear the announcer being like, "Hey, Sonic, come back, Sonic, come back, Sonic, no, come back," and it's beautiful. But yeah, we did give a nice homage to the end of Volume 8. Like, at the end of Volume 8, we had all the animators just getting screwed up the ass with the Sonic characters. The best part was... the best part was, like, there's so many of them. It's Sega, what did you expect? And not to mention the part afterwards, it's like, did anyone bring a weapon? Yeah, I have a pencil. Because we're the animators.
yeah.
And then there was this nice Sonic 2 Game Gear Bad Ending remix that Dr. MacFox did remix of, and you see all the shorts going by and forums, and you still see Silver going up trying to get up that fucking loop. He's still trying to go up that loop. And you see the 4Kids building absolutely destroyed. I guess it's rather fitting considering what actually did happen to 4Kids, but yeah, Sonic Shorts Volume 8 is a thing. Indeed.
Check him out.
Oh yeah.
This is happening.
Oh yeah, this is happening. But yes, the Youmacon panel video is indeed coming soon, guys. Don't worry, it's coming soon. Well, to be fair, Thomas, I haven't really had the chance to get to saying that because, it's been a while since I did a show. But it would be stupid if I didn't plug Volume 8 and Metropolis Mayhem at all in this. But yes, there will be a panel video for you from Youmacon coming soon. It could be very well up. It should be up very much in this month, hopefully by the end of December. We will see, but it's looking positive. But we do have the panel video from Youmacon going up soon. But yes, guys, other than that, not much to talk about except that announcement I was teasing earlier.
Uh-oh.
I wonder what this announcement is. Well, guys, if you guys remember, I mentioned special effect being mentioned. It wouldn't be the last time I'd mentioned special effect. This is the next time I'm mentioning special effect. Before I go into this, yes, guys, this is the end of the show. Calm your tits. This is the end of it. You know.
Like
Calm
forever?
down. Well, this episode anyway.
Okay. I was gonna say, holy shit, I'm the last guest?
Spoiler.
God. Pressure. I didn't know I was on the retirement episode. Oh, God.
Oh, shit. Rock, yeah.
This is happening.
This is happening. Welcome to the This Is Happening edition of the Sonic News Show. Because this is happening. But
Check out this announcement, because this is happening.
You know what's also happening? This is happening. But seriously, though, this is definitely the end of the show, the final topic, and it's a big, you know, the final announcement, final topic. Basically, if you guys remember, I did mention special effects. What happens is, if you guys are well aware, every year, around this time, usually within the week that the new year hits, there is a 7-day long Sonic Marathon that happens from Respawn Point, where they will play Sonic games non-stop for 7 days to benefit a charity. Previously, it was Child's Play. This year, it's Special Effect, coincidentally. So, why am I mentioning this? Well, not only is it the fact that I'm allied with the fourth Sonic Marathon this year, but I will be streaming as part of the marathon as well. What am I going to be playing, you ask?
Oh, God. Considering
Everyone seems to know me now for being the god of Spinball and Mean Bean Machine. That's what I'm going to be playing. Only the best Sonic games of all time.
Does that include the Game Gear version?
Actually, I don't really think they play the Game Gear version all that much. I don't think they do anyway. If they do, it'd probably be like one of those side games that, because they're mainly getting through the main games, but they do play the side games if there's time. But I will be playing the Genesis version of Spinball and playing Mean Bean Machine. And the way it's looking, it may be possible I may be doing a race of Mean Bean Machine with one of the Respawn Point guys that will be there. One of the streamers, the players of that are going to be playing for the marathon there. I will be potentially racing them. That's a donation incentive. But I will be playing I'll be playing Spinball and Mean Bean Machine for Sonic Marathon 4 to benefit the Special Effect charity. And this will be taking place, I do believe, starting December 28th, I believe. Let me check really fast, because I can bring up the site really quickly. You're going to see white for a moment. We're in white space, don't worry, Generations is happening again.
Oh, God.
Time Eater, what did you do? Sonic News Show's time travels. Let me see. I can see it's December 28th through January 4th. You can catch it. The link is at respawn-point.com/Sonic Marathon /index.html 3.1459. No. It's a pretty long link. I will link it in the chat. I will link it on the description of the video and on Radio Sega Media. Hi, by the way, for those who are listening on Radio Sega Media. Pretty much, So if you guys love me playing Spinball, I don't know if you guys do, and if you support a good cause, feel free to tune in. There might be a little bit of multiplayer gameplay, like ASRT, but I will assure you guys, I will be interacting with you guys. I will be talking with you guys, and hopefully I will actually prove my worth as DJ Spinball, as Respawn Point calls me. Because apparently I'm the only guy that can beat Spinball. Even though Clement did just that.
I don't want to touch the showdown ever again. That level was awful. And honestly, I've never even finished Game Gear Spinball.
I
It's
have.
so boring. I can't do it.
I really have to show you how I play Spinball because it is quite. I can get. I learned not too long ago that I can get every single ring and pretty much the first 3 stages of the game.
Damn.
Yeah, I've even been able to beat the game without losing a single life a couple times. No shit. I really do. I really should. Like, I've offered my like. There's a reason why I've offered myself playing Spinball for so many different sites, including Brain Scratch. I've offered myself playing. I've offered LPing Spinball for Brain Scratch.
Please let me play Spinball.
Please let me spin balls. What?
Game has a badass soundtrack. I will say that.
Oh yeah, it definitely has a badass soundtrack. I love the soundtrack in that game.
Toxic Caves is damn near sexy, if I do say so myself.
Oh yeah, I love the boss music too.
Anyway.
But yeah, but yeah, I really should like stream myself playing Spinball again at some point. Oh right, Sonic Marathon 4. Go watch it. No, like stream myself playing Spinball for any of the Brain Scratch guys to see, and like I've offered my I've offered playing Spinball, and I've played Sonic Pinball Party. Uh, it's a thing. I would recommend if you're a pinball fan, but like me, but if you're not a pinball fan, you're not gonna like this game all that much. I'm just saying. um,
I thought Spinball was pretty decent till the last level.
no, Sonic Pinball Party.
Oh, Pinball Party. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, Spinball though is very fun to me. Like the last level, I will admit, is difficult. Even I've struggled with it, but I've managed. But I got better. Um,
You got better.
yeah. But yeah, like I've offered I've offered my any help with doing Spinball. No one really wants to play Spinball though, or even LP Spinball, or even commentate on Spinball because it's Spinball.
It's like, again, I think the only real problem with it is the last level. I think the boss fights, like, and the music, and I don't know. I think it's pretty fun. I love Spinball. I played that a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah, the only people that are really letting me play Spinball for them are Respawn Point and Sonic Paradox's Let's Play channel, Paradox Power Plays. Plug. Doot. Anyway. But yeah, if you didn't know, we do have an LP channel. Just saying. And we do put up a lot of gameplay on there too, including Sonic. We even had a
Shocking.
shocking, I know. But there's actually an interesting playthrough where Sonic 3 and Knuckles. What happened was there was a bit of a technical difficulty, like a little technical problem with CPU usage, and it turned all the audio and stuff in Sonic 3 and Knuckles into like this demonic thing. So it turned into Sonic 3 and Knuckles.exe.
Oh God.
That's what it essentially became. Oh boy, it was. Yeah. There were some ASRT races on there too. But yeah. But with that in mind, that's the show. I know it's such a miracle and shocker to everyone watching right now, but we actually finished this episode.
Do the episodes not usually finish?
Oh, they usually finish. It's just it depends on like time. Kind of depends, and I don't think everyone's used to the fact that generally shows do have a tendency to go on this long, depending on how much is talked about. So
Yeah.
it's nothing new, people. But yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
this is happening.
This is happening.
That's gonna be stuck in my head all night. Thanks a lot.
That is happening. But yeah, feel free to go out. Feel free to go and check out Clement's videos and his channel and his Twitter. Is there anything you'd like to plug?
Uh,
Besides penis?
well, I do like to plug penis. Nah, just if you want to watch my channel, cool. If you want to follow me on Twitter, cool. If you want to follow me on Miiverse on Wii U, cool. If you want to follow my Tumblr, cool. I don't care. But all of it's pretty much Clement J64.
Yep.
Except my YouTube channel, which is Clement J642. And that's because my original account was deleted, and I just made a new one and called it 2. And that's when I got YouTube famous and... YouTube famous. That's when I got all my Sonic playthroughs and stuff on it. And I didn't change it. So it's everything else is Clement J64, and that one is Clement J642. It's weird, I know, but...
Rebel. YouTube's a rebel. Yeah. To remove the 2 from this username, please purchase Google+. Damn, you're purchasing now. They're really going places. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much it for the show. We'll see if there's a show next week, but for now, probably 2 weeks bar minimum, depending on, maybe there might be some more stuff to talk about next week. But if things go well, and I'm going to see to it, we might have the Respawn Point guys on for the next show. We'll see, though. But for now, I thank Clement very much for being here for today's show. You're probably, I think, out of everyone on Brain Scratch and for all the Sonic LPers I know, I think you're the first solo Sonic LPer that's on here other than Gareth. But Gareth actually was on here with N-Tom of Hellfire Com, so he hasn't actually been on here on his own episode. So you're the first. Congrats.
I don't need backup.
He don't need backup, ladies and gentlemen. He's the Clement. He's a great Clement. He has the master plan. And this is happening.
I don't chuckle. I'd rather flex my muscles.
He doesn't solo. He'd rather flex his OPs. But yeah, thanks for being here. It was great. It was great to have you here. It was kind of last minute, you know, considering we had to do this within one day, but it was all good. We worked it out. Unlike Sonic 06, where it doesn't work things out.
Because it's fucking terrible.
Spoiler.
You are a 10-year-old if you think it's a good game.
This is happening. Oh, boy. I'm gonna go grab a drink before this is happening any further.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see you all soon for another Sonic News show. Thanks for being here, Clement. I do appreciate it. And I guess I'll see you on Twitter whenever there's a stream that Johnny's doing or whatever. Or I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, not a problem.
Yep. Take care, everyone. Have a good night. And Eggman Empire and Viva Viva the Eggman Empire.
That was a shameful salute to the Eggman Empire.
It was. Eggman would be saddened by this. This is happening.
This is happening.